All
It's
right.
giving vibes. It's giving vibes.
It's giving you're giving a really
Welcome back to Mixtape Talks. It's giving vibes. I don't know if Ethan's gonna bleep that out.
I'm not.
No.
But today we have a lot to talk about, you guys. We always love having guests on. We do have a full array of guests for you guys this summer. We have some more gym owners. We have a couple actors. We have a lot of people. But today, I feel like we just need to cover the news. I don't know how many of you guys like that, but we love it. So guess what? We're gonna do it. There's been so much stuff that's been going on in the news and just in our world today that I feel like there's so many different opinions, and all of us have different opinions on different subjects. One of them being, for me, I just posted this on Threads, In-N-Out, right? In-N-Out just came out and they said that they're banning people from wearing masks unless you have a doctor's note. I guess a doctor's note, the doctor's permission. I don't know.
Also, there is a doctor's loophole.
There's a doctor's loophole.
Okay.
Well, I don't know under where you'd go to the doctor and he'd be like, hey, you need a mask. Like, I've never, out of all the times you've been sick, right? Think about all the times you've been sick in your whole entire life and you went to the doctor, you had strep throat, you had whatever it is you had, that he's like, I recommend you put a mask on. I've
never.
Only time I've ever had to wear a mask was when the
World shut down.
When the world shut down.
Yeah, when the world shut down.
So like
The pandemic.
yeah, so it makes me laugh that like,
Oh, how the tables have turned.
yeah, that's you saw I put that
with the Uno reverse card.
Right.
I mean, for me, I think it's kind of stupid. I love In-N-Out. I see what they're doing. I feel like they're taking a jab back at all the rules
No
that
pun
were made.
intended.
No pun intended. I mean, but I put it on there, and it always makes me laugh how people, instead of like commenting their beliefs or how they feel, they DM me. So I got some people that were kind of mad because I put, how the tables have turned, and they're like, so do you think people getting sick is a good thing? Blah, blah, blah. I don't. I actually think it's very stupid at In-N-Out to do it. I think if someone wants to wear a mask, by all means, if you feel like you're getting sick, wear a mask, especially if you're cooking my food. Mm-hmm. But I do understand that we're living literally 2-3 years after the fact where everybody was okay being told what to do. And now a private company is telling you this is how we run the business, and people are having a hard time. So
all of a sudden, it just,
So I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about it. I think it's dumb, but I'm here for it.
I just think it's unnecessary.
I just think do whatever you want to do. If you want to wear a mask, wear it. If you don't want to wear it, cool. But don't make me do something. So it's still like, at the same time, it's like nobody wanted to be forced to wear one, right? So don't force somebody to not, like, if they want to wear it, let them wear it. If they don't want to wear it, then they don't have to wear it. Whatever. Just let people do what they want to do.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I agree with
I don't
that.
think. Yeah, I just think it was unnecessary.
I think it's funny.
I think 3 years later, it's unnecessary.
I think it's
definitely
hilarious.
funny. And it's like, if you want to think petty, like, oh, okay, that's funny. But like, yeah, it's funny.
I would like to think this isn't like a top petty type thing they're doing, but I don't really see why they came out with this. Like, I did read something where they were saying they're very big on customer service, and they want them to, their employees to be able to like serve smiles and make eye contact and see facial
smiles.
see facial expressions.
And I feel like
do get
sometimes
that.
they're too much in a hurry and too stressed to make everyone's food in the first place, where I don't really see tons of smiles in the first place. Plus, I'm
I
not
always
looking
do.
at smiles. I'm just like, order my food and I'm just waiting. Like, just get the food, go.
No, I
I'm
feel
not
like In-N-Out's like the one
let me see you
place
smile.
where I In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A,
Yep.
where it's like consistently good customer service and smiles when you walk up.
I mean, but then again, how often do I go to In-N-Out? I don't even.
Wait a
You
minute.
know what I mean?
You can't talk about anything In-N-Out because getting a grilled cheese at In-N-Out is not
I don't even get
Yeah.
grilled cheese at In-N-Out.
Really?
Because I don't eat cheese.
Oh, yeah.
Can I get a bun
Just
without grilled
lettuce.
onions and lettuce?
Yeah. Do you get anything there? Any fries?
Yeah, so I do. It's so stupid. Do you really want to hear what I get? Because
Yes.
it's kind of like embarrassing.
We'll have
but
Ethan cut it out.
I'm just like, so I'll be like, this is what I'll say. Can I get a veggie with no cheese and no spread? So basically, it's just lettuce, tomato, pickles, grilled onions, and like peppers if I want, and that's it.
See, in
So
that
it's
case,
a salad.
And mustard.
You're
too.
ordering a salad
Basically, a
at
salad
In-N-Out.
and bread. Yeah.
in that case, you do want the person wearing a mask because the inside they're like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't see that mouth.
Who
Yeah.
orders that? But they call it the veggie. Like they have it there. People order it, I guess. So I don't know.
So they actually have
It's called the veggie. Yeah.
I've never seen it on the menu.
Yep.
Well, you've never gone.
No, they
to
got the
vegan,
secret
probably.
menu though.
There is
Oh,
a
it's a
secret
secret.
menu, Jason.
Yeah.
There
I
is
think
a
that's called
secret menu.
The disrespectful menu.
There's like that.
veggie.
What is it? The Dutchman thing, where it's
The
just
Dutchman,
like
yeah.
There's like all kinds of crazy stuff.
Is it?
It's just like a patty in
I don't know,
cheese.
When was the last time you had an In-N-Out burger? Like actual, like
You went
with
to
the-
In-N-Out.
Like you went there
like for a burger.
for a burger.
Oh dear, I don't know.
What-
Maybe when I was like in like high school. Maybe I don't even remember. I couldn't tell you.
Okay,
2000.
what would it take for me to get you to take a bite of In-N-Out burger? Like it's just literally a bite. It's just meat. You could like chew it. You could spit it out after. Like what would it take for like me to be like, hey, let's go to In-N-Out. Let's get a double grilled onions. You could take a bite.
Okay, well, let me hear me out. So at this point in my life,
Yes.
so before I was like, okay, I mean, I became vegan obviously for the animals and things like that.
Right.
Well, that's why I became vegetarian. I became vegan because my dad passed away from cancer and I just was like, I'm not eating this, I'm not eating that. Like that's how it was, right? And I didn't even drink for a long time. I wouldn't eat processed foods, like nothing. And then it just went so long where I didn't eat meat. Like I understand the value in certain, like I'm not against people eating meat. Like you can eat a steak in front of me, I can cook it for you. Like I'm not like veganism, like you know what I mean? Like I'm plant-based, but I also understand the importance of like why people have to like do things and why meat should be eaten and why, like I'm not, so would I take a bite maybe for a certain amount of money and be
How
able
much?
to spit it out? Like,
How much?
sure, I don't care. Like, that's not gonna bother me.
$100.
But
How
I'm
much?
not gonna. I don't know. But also sometimes I start thinking because I was like, if I get when I had to get my blood drawn, and I was like, okay, my doctor tells me like, yo, you're deficient in this and this and this, you have to eat it, like, or like if I get pregnant, saying they tell me, because at that point I'm not selfish either, it's would be for my baby, not for me, right? But everything was like good, all my vitals were good, I was like super healthy, so I was like, okay, great. But I started thinking like, oh my god, I might have to start eating like meat, what if I have to? And they tell me that, and then all I could see is just the little cow's face, and the little, and I started getting sad. I was like, how am I gonna eat that poor little baby cow? So then I realized like, oh, it is for the animal. So I don't know, I have this weird thing. But if I was forced to one day, like I said, if let's say I get pregnant and they're like, you have to for the baby, then I would have to for my baby.
A doctor's
I
like,
I can't be
hey,
selfish, you know?
You're 8 months pregnant. You got to go to In-N-Out.
You better
Like,
have a burger.
double.
And I'd be like, oh my, yeah, whatever.
I would-
Anything
I
for
would-
my
I-
baby.
I'll put $100 on the pot to give it to you to eat.
I don't think she
In-N-Out.
would do $100.
Yeah, it's just not for what?
To
Did the
bite it
stomach
and-
ache? One
Just a
time
bite.
I did actually, I did have meat one time. Let me just tell you, that stomach ache I had,
What kind of meat did you have though?
I think it was like ground, some like.
There you go. It wasn't.
And one
In-N-Out
time,
meat.
one of my exes made me a chicken salad. I swear he did this on purpose, but he swears it was an accident. And he told me it was vegan chicken. Like this is years ago, probably like 10, 15 years ago. Made me a salad, so super sweet, right? Like, okay, made me salad, put chicken in it. He swears it was vegan chicken. I ate that.
How do you not know?
And then I was eating it. I took the first bite and I was like, I took a bite, I didn't realize it. And then at the second bite, I was like, this almost tastes, I'm going to say
good.
it, too good in a sense where I was like, yeah, this texture. I looked and I went to go look downstairs and it was real. And he swears that it was an
he set you
accident.
up for sure.
But I
Oh, that was
swear.
on purpose.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
swear.
'Cause it even
and then,
looks
and then-
different.
But then I was so dramatic and like made myself throw up and like I was like, this is gonna make me sick. So I stuck my finger in my throat and threw myself up. Yeah, it's like so. Everything's in my head.
It's giving.
It's giving. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe like I said.
I don't think it'd be $100 though. I think she would need at least.
Yeah, but
Oh,
I just don't
gee.
see I need meat. Like
I
it
just don't-
doesn't.
yeah.
I don't miss
She
it.
just-
I'm not like I need to have a burger. I don't crave it. It smells good sometimes, but like I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want it. You know.
Ugh,
I'm good.
had
And
In-N-Out
after I
the
got, like I said, after I got all of my
Test results?
got my test results back, like literally my protein, my creatine, my vitamins, I'm not deficient in anything. Everything is like where it's supposed to be, which is crazy.
Do you think if you did take a bite, it would like kill your following? Like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to In-N-Out, I'm gonna just try it, I'm gonna see what it is.
I
You
don't
think people would be
care.
like,
I'm not
you're-
vegan for my following.
No, but I'm saying like you're really well known for being like
Oh yeah,
vegan. So and a
at
lot
that
of people
point,
that
it's like everyone knows I'm vegan. Yeah, it would be weird. I think.
do you think
too.
people would like you have like a backlash? Is that what you're? afraid
No,
of now?
again, I don't care. Like,
don't care?
I don't really care what anyone thinks about. Like, if today I'm like, you know what, you guys, I'm gonna eat a burger. I'm eating meat now. Like,
When it's been 18 years, right?
yeah,
That is
But it wouldn't. But
Yeah.
like, I don't care if people are like, oh, you're going to get like Stella, like whatever.
But a lot of people can't commit to anything for 18 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
At this point, like people have been vegan for like 2 years or 3
Yes,
years, and then they
yeah.
give up and they go back to eating regular meat, right? You know, like I hadn't eaten meat. I didn't eat meat for since 2007. Six.
Hey, if you think about it, you're kind of wifey material because if you could stay loyal to not eating
That's
meat,
what
then
I'm
you can stay loyal to a
saying.
man, right? Hey,
That's
wifey
18
material.
years. I have-
18 years strong.
I've had one bite of meat, so that means if I find a man 18 years plus, I'm faithful.
I'm just saying, it's a dedication for me.
Discipline. You are disciplined.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got, Ethan?
The Skims net worth.
We guess what it is. Anybody take a guess? I mean, I
I'm
already
gonna
read
say
it.
in the billions.
yeah, because I feel like Kylie's in the billions too. So.
Wait, is it Kylie's or
It's Kim's.
Kim's?
But she's saying that she feels like
'cause
Kylie's
Kim-
is in the billions, so she's assuming Kim's
Yeah.
is in the billions.
Gotcha. All
I
right.
think the billions.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give it to them. They know how to.
They're
build
great business.
Yeah.
For
Frisch Jenner.
Skims,
They're great at business.
Skims is now worth $4 billion. You guys.
$4 billion. Dollars.
So obviously, I've never worn Skims before.
Never? Nope.
Have you guys? Either of you guys worn Skims?
I've worn Skims.
Is it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it worth the hype? Like what's so good about Skims that they're worth $4 billion?
I mean, postpartum, I use their stuff, like their shapewear for sure. Like, so it makes you feel
It's just
good.
like comfort.
It's comfort. You look confident.
Is it like Spanx?
Yeah.
Some of the stuff,
Some of
but then
it-
they had like a collab with like Fendi, and they had like little underwear and things like that. But that just fit
It's
like,
like lingerie,
regular.
yeah.
Like
So what is Skims? So, I mean, I
would
thought it was
say
just like
Skims
underwear and bras.
started as shapewear.
it started as shapewear, and then it kind of evolved into other things.
Yeah,
so
it's
it's like more
lingerie.
loungewear,
Yes.
lingerie,
PJs.
like underwear.
Is it
bras.
is the price point for like Skims more expensive than what you would normally buy? or is it
I
the
feel
same?
like it's like equivalent to if you went to Nordstrom's.
Okay.
Yeah,
So like,
So it's really nothing special about it other than
no.
Kim K.
Then Kim K's name
name is
all
on
over
it.
Wow. Wow. I think they just did a good job of giving it to the right people to
Yeah.
wear it.
Yeah.
Because every time I see a girl
And they
wear
do
Skims,
great, but I think they also do a great like they have great marketing as far as like it is for all body types.
Yes.
You know, they don't just have
It's all
this
inclusive.
specific. It's like for doesn't matter if whatever body type that you have, they have something for everybody, and everybody can feel comfortable and confident in it.
And I also think happened when Victoria's Secret was getting a lot of backlash as well. For just their body type. I mean, I think Victoria's Secret went through, there's actually a documentary on Hulu, where just they had a certain type. It was very much like skinny,
Model-esque,
model,
super-
6 foot. And they started,
it's Victoria's
There's-
Secret.
No,
that's
Is
what
that
I'm saying.
bad? Like,
no, it's not bad, but I think it was just, it was
Because
something that was
skin-
always
yeah.
unsaid. Like obviously Victoria's Secret has a type, but they didn't talk about it. And then
Skims will has like all different body types that like model
on all
in
of their
these-
campaigns.
in all of their
So it makes it more
campaigns, yeah. So
relatable.
it's for
see,
everybody.
anytime I ever see a girl in Skims, she has the bomb body. That's why I always like relate Skims to like someone that's hot wears Skims. That's why I like
well, maybe because you see what on your Instagram
on the feed. Yeah, like
Okay,
yeah,
but you don't get
Skims
their
and-
campaigns, so like you wouldn't get an
No,
email
yeah.
from Skims.
Okay, so they have like
So you're-
larger,
yeah.
larger
Yeah.
individuals on
Yes,
Skims.
yes.
And it looks good.
Yeah, I mean everyone looks great, Jason.
I'll say, look me in the eye. Why are you looking away? Doesn't look good. She immediately.
I said
everyone looks good.
great, Jason.
Yeah,
But
that's-
everyone's gonna walk out in their chonies, right? Like it's
Yeah.
for you to feel confident with whatever you're
With
wearing.
whatever you're wearing.
did it
Yes,
look-
exactly.
Did the campaign look good?
I mean, it made you
It
feel.
looks great, okay? It makes you feel seen and heard, Jason.
But does it make you look good?
Yeah, but does it make it look good? I mean,
And it's all different body types too, because like for example, you have short torso, long torso, like
Ooh,
certain
good
underwear is high
switch up.
waisted,
Yes.
like high leg, like it's for everybody.
Yeah. You see,
Sometimes I like
eye
my
contact
underwear
now,
that are
Mona.
gonna fit more high waisted, and like sometimes I go to Victoria's Secret and I'm like, okay, listen, this is not fitting my hip properly. It's sitting low. I want my underwear to sit high. Like
Victoria's
you know what I mean? There's different.
well, didn't she just recently go to Target and bought a bunch of
was just
underwear?
saying,
Like,
didn't
aren't you like a
I did.
Target fan for underwear now? So like, see, I didn't know. Like, I guess if, if guys wear underwear, it's like, oh, we just go pick up. I feel like it's everywhere. There's not like a specific brand. I feel like with girls, it's more
You don't have a
specific.
specific choni brand, like
I mean, you could buy like the pack of Calvin Klein and like
Call it a day.
call it a day. Like, I just don't like the long briefs. Like, I
No, I
prefer
can't do that.
more of like
Yeah.
the guy chonies. I would
guy
say,
chonies?
yeah.
Oh, like the brief, not the shorts.
Yeah, well, the briefs are the ones that come like, yeah, no, I want them to like
The ones-
not.
That like right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, huh? No. I want like the like the
Like the hoochie ones.
like I was in 8th grade type, or not even like 4th grade, like underwear, like
Tidy whities?
yeah, like tidy whities. Yeah,
Oh, you want those?
See, I
prefer
can't do
those.
that.
Oh, really?
I prefer those. Yeah,
The booty huggers?
yeah, because I feel like when you wear briefs, like it comes up on my thighs.
You know what? That's true. That's
yeah.
true.
So I rather have like the, I guess, tidy whities. Yeah. But I don't go like, oh my god, they're not Calvin Klein, I can't wear them. But I know like certain girls are like Victoria's Secret or.
I'm
not-
all about comfort,
Yeah.
right? Like, because there's some underwear where it just like squeezes you. It's not comfortable. It's giving you a wedgie. Like it's like digging into your little
Yeah.
butt crack, and you feel like you're gonna take it off, and you might have a few cuts. Like I don't know, if they're so tight.
shit, God
Like
damn.
so, I'm all about comfort. I need my underwear to fit.
Yes.
Like I'm very particular. Yes, they have to.
But
be
Target
a
seems to
certain-
be fitting your needs.
Well, I didn't try them. I just purchased them because I was like, oh, they looked good, and actually,
So they're
yeah, I
still
tried
in
them
the
on,
bag
and
at
they
home.
fit well.
There you go.
They did. I was so surprised, and there was a lot of people who were like, "I only buy my underwear from Target. I don't even go to Victoria's Secret anymore." I was like, "Okay, my bad. I didn't know." Yeah, but they said they last. From what I'm told by people like these Target lovers, they say they last a long time too. So I'm like, "Oh, great." So I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you know after a few washes.
That's crazy. 4 billion. I mean,
4 billion.
How many companies does she own? Like, what? Look what her net worth is, because it's
Kim K's.
Yeah, I feel like Kim K. I feel like that's 4 billion. I feel like she had. What else does she do? She just did a
1.8
collab
billion.
With Alani.
She's
4.8.
1.8 billion.
1.8 billion, and that's probably like, I would assume that's like what she has liquid.
Okay,
Yeah,
what
and
is?
she's a lawyer. Like,
She's a lawyer?
Or
She is
yeah.
a lawyer, yeah. And
That's
then-
right.
And then so like on that topic with Kim K, she just signed a deal and she has like a drink with Alani, right? And that had a lot of backlash from what I read on the page. A lot of people are, Alani's more of a lifestyle type fitness energy drink, I would classify it as. It's not like a hardcore like pre-workout type drink. And Kim Kardashian has her own flavor. She did a whole campaign for it. And I was going through the comments and they were like flaming both of them, Alani and Kim K, saying that like she's not a good representation of what fitness should be. There's a lot of different women out there that probably deserve that more than her.
Well, and it also, okay, right now we're doing a lot of Barbie marketing, right? That looks very Barbie marketing-esque. So maybe they did it as a collab, because on my feed, literally, there's luggage Barbie marketing. There's, I don't know,
Pink everywhere.
Pink everywhere. So maybe it was just the month of the Barbie premiere, and that's why
That'd be
they.
genius if that. If
I honestly,
you give them
because
that
looking
credit.
at the ads right now,
It looks like
looking
a Barbie ad.
It does
from
look
a
like a
business
Barbie ad.
perspective, I think it's a win for them. Like,
Yeah.
they got Kim
For Alani?
Kardashian to do their like
Yeah.
regardless, like that's like
Katie
I don't know. I think that's
it's
a win
Katie
for
Hearn's
them.
company,
Whatever.
right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at the
Yeah.
same time, they still almost have Alani still has almost 1 million followers on Instagram. Like, just I get it. People are upset, whatever. But at the same time, like,
I don't think it was a good move. I think
Whatever.
I think when you kind of dig in, like the fitness community,
I get it.
is very small and it's very niche. So like we all support each other in the
Yes,
sense of like, hey,
absolutely.
like I would love to see like a girl that's doesn't have to be over.
but because they're about fitness and they are totally. I get it. I totally get it. You would prefer there to be an actual like fitness, someone who is in the fitness industry, someone that is muscles fit, like
Right.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I
there's
get
a lot of actresses that could fill that void that they wanted to have like a celebrity, but still like be fit. Like there's so many fit
Yeah.
celebrities out there. I just think, I don't know if it was, they got a discount on Kim K, which I highly
It's
doubt.
almost-
doubt
what
it.
I think it's almost like filming a movie, and let's say it's an all Hispanic cast, and the main character you're casting someone who's white who should be Mexican for the part, in a sense.
I'm not going down that road, but yes,
That's a-
kind
that's a-
of.
Is that what we're saying?
I mean, no,
That is a rabbit hole to go down.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm saying is,
so
I
we
feel
should
like
just cut that. Cut it.
her, Alani, what's the girl's name?
Katie Hearn.
Katie Hearn and her husband, they're like the epitome of health.
Yes,
right? Like if
100%.
he used to be a bodybuilder, I used to follow him.
I think she used to compete too, right?
Yeah, so like their whole thing is like, that's why they started the brand. So now like I get it, they want to be lifestyle,
Yeah.
but it's like at least get someone that is on record for like working
Being
out
fitness.
or has
Yeah.
Getting her
I
bod
get
the
it.
not the natural way, because
because she's also sponsored by
Well,
Ozempic, and
at
Ozempic
the
is
same time, it's not a real body. That's the
Yes.
whole thing. It's like Kim Kardashian. It's not a real body. You didn't work for what you had, and there are a lot of people. Everyone works hard for the body that they have, and they do take it personal. I totally get it.
yeah. So for
I get
me,
it.
I don't think it was. Do I think it's going to hurt them? They're going to go, no, not at all.
No,
I don't think
business
at
not
all.
hurt them. From a
But
business
I,
standpoint.
I feel like I saw
It's
every one of our
Yeah.
trainers drinking that yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. As
Yeah.
a business,
That-
from a
that-
business
that
standpoint,
flavor,
they're
like
not
Kim K
losing
one?
any.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw 5 people's stories yesterday with that.
it's Kim
Yeah.
Kardashian. People
For
love
sure.
her.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, from the gyms.
Yeah, it's not going to have the same
It's not gonna
backlash
hurt
like
them.
the Bud Light,
Yeah.
Right,
collaborate. People are still going to buy
Yeah.
Alani. It's just they might not like who's the face of it right
true.
now.
I mean,
Yeah.
So you think it's going to be something that helps the company, or just
I mean, the exposure that they got from collabing with Kim versus someone who might be
some gym rat in the gym that's like
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
this isn't
Yeah.
the-
It's not like the typical ad that they usually
It's
put
just
out.
something for people
yeah.
to talk about now, and then it's gonna move on, and no one's gonna talk about
Exactly.
it.
But
Again.
actually, they've never collabed with like an actual
No,
Person
I
have
haven't.
it a
I
lot,
know. I don't
right?
think so. I
So
don't.
then that's also where it's
Yeah.
different too. Like
This is
your
their first like big like, oh shit, they collabed with Kim K.
Kim Kardashian.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. If Kim K's like, hey, I want to promote your
Yeah.
gym, I'm gonna be like,
You
Kim.
see?
Yeah, see,
And then you're gonna get and then people are gonna be like, you should have got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
No matter what, it's Kim Kardashian. So it's like as
That's
a
true.
business,
Like how many
are you
energy
gonna
drinks
turn
can
that
say
back
that
now?
they collabed with Kim Kardashian?
Yeah.
Like that's a
Exactly.
flex.
That's what I said. As a
Yeah.
business, are
Kim
you
wants to
turning
do a
that back
photo
down?
shoot at the
Yeah.
gym. You're there.
All right, so which one do you think is gonna? Which Kardashian do you think is like the highest? I would say the one that you would want to represent your company. Like if we said, hey, they're gonna come to South Main Chino Hills, right? And it was either gonna be Kim, it was gonna be Kylie, or it was gonna be Chloe. Like which one would you want? That you
I feel
think?
Kylie would bring us the most, like our type of demographic. Kylie.
Because
no,
she's
what's
gonna
the
reach
one-
the younger crowd and the younger.
For
I
our
forget-
gym?
what's the one?
There's-
What's the one that's with Travis Barker?
Courtney.
Courtney. Like
Nah.
no, she's
Courtney.
like on right now. Like,
She is, but not like
She's the more like reserved to
Yeah.
herself one. I feel like if you're trying to get like that like
Lifestyle
younger,
and-
popular crowd, then you want to go with like
Just depends on what you're trying to
Kylie.
reach.
so
Yeah.
you think Kylie is surpassed Kim?
Yeah, I feel like she has more years on her. She's going to pass her for sure.
well, which one was?
Because Kylie was on the
it was,
Forbes under 30, like
yeah.
19 or
Yeah,
But
but-
then,
but her
then
sister-
you have
her
Courtney
sister had
who
that
had her
blueprint.
own wellness like brand
Yeah.
too, Poosh, right? So
That's
it's like
true.
all wellness. She has vitamins, she has CBD,
Good
like all of
America.
those
And
things
I
too.
remember there was a story arc in Keeping Up with the Kardashians where she started a personal like fitness journey.
Yeah, she had her own
That was a
fitness.
huge
She would
story
do
arc.
like Pilates and she
Yeah.
would post her Pilates. So she's into like wellness.
Yeah.
Who has the most money out of them?
I think
Just put like what Kardashian has the most?
It's either Kim or Kylie,
Kylie.
one of them.
I mean, I would take Kim. I feel like Kim would surpass
Kim.
Kylie.
Kim.
Yeah.
Kim.
And then how much does Kylie have?
It's all their mom,
I think it was
Chris.
700.
And then
I
look
think
at
it was
Chris.
700 million.
What a loser.
And then what does
700 million?
Chris have? Because Chris
Right.
gets 10% of each of them.
Does she get 10% of each of them? That's the mom.
crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Damn.
saying.
Oh my
Mom is winning.
170 million.
Really?
Yeah. But if that's just
I'm pretty
for,
sure
like,
she has more.
Yeah, for sure.
There's some
With assets and
there's some
everything.
there's some tax purposes
some
for some of that stuff. Yeah,
Money being moved around for sure.
that's crazy. Kardashians are doing it, huh?
You can't even get mad.
It
That's
always
what I'm
makes
saying.
me-
You can hate all you want, but at the end of the day,
They
it's a
fucking
business.
did it.
they did it,
right.
and they work their asses off.
They
They,
really
don't
do.
just sit at home and be like, "I'm rich." They're starting businesses. They are actually like great,
Yeah.
at
You know,
what they
and-
do.
and
They're
it
great
always
at what
makes
they
me
do.
sad because I'm like, why can't Rob just have one thing? Like you have so much
I
backing.
know.
Like if I was that brother,
I feel like he had something.
he has socks. I think he had
It was-
socks.
oh, socks,
He had
okay.
He had
something.
socks.
But I'm like, but he lives like he's like balling. But I'm pretty sure the whole family. They're
Of
not.
course,
They're not.
they
sure.
all are. Like
He has
they're all
some kind
good.
of residual.
And he's not a bad looking dude either. I don't
Yeah.
think. I don't.
Wait,
think
has he lost his weight?
I don't know. I'm just thinking from the. I'm just thinking of like the early ones that we used to
Yeah.
watch when he was like first getting tatted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Black China messed him up, huh? Was that
Yeah.
Blac Chyna?
No,
Yeah.
it was way before Black China because he was still like didn't want to be in anything because he put on weight.
No, but he's a good looking dude.
No,
for
I
sure.
think he's a good looking guy. I mean, it's not like he's like a
He doesn't look too overweight.
But you know what? I know. Okay, I think Chris, for him to get money, she's setting up his daughter. Chris is setting up his daughter Dream because she's been in like commercials and stuff. So they're making their money somehow.
I mean,
They're all
generational.
everyone.
Yeah.
They're all getting hustled.
Yeah, they're
for sure.
Yeah. What do you guys think that Chris was the one that released Kim's sex tape?
100%, 100%,
I've never thought about it actually.
100%.
I don't know. I never thought
Like
about
the
it.
original time, like the
Like
Yes.
the very first time,
Yes.
like she saw an opportunity to capitalize.
It wasn't Ray J who did it.
No.
Oh wow.
you don't think so?
No, he even said it wasn't him. He even said it wasn't.
Allegedly.
Allegedly,
Well, no,
we're gonna believe him just because he said no.
If you think about it, you're thinking of like the Kim Kardashian now. The Kim Kardashian that Ray J was with, she wasn't that big. So like, it's not like he's benefiting off of like being with some. He was way bigger than Kim Kardashian was. Kim Kardashian was literally the girl that like was dating all the celebrities. But,
Yeah, and helping Paris Hilton with her
helping
life,
Paris Hilton. So it wasn't like the Kim Kardashian you think of. It was like a
But do you think as a mom would want to
Yes.
put her daughter's sex tape out there?
Yeah, I don't think she would have thought it blew up to what it is now, like so big. But I did think hey, real quick, you already shot it. It's already done. Like we can make a couple $1 million, which back in those days.
So you think she told her mom like, "Mom, I shot a sex tape"?
100%. And I think she's like, with who? Ray J. And Ray J was big. Brandy was his sister. So like the name was there. So releasing that sex tape is what catapulted her. I think 100% that the mom was like,
Saw
let's
an
do it.
opportunity, she took it.
Yep.
I don't know. I never
know.
thought about it. To be honest, I've never thought about like who released it.
I don't know. I mean, but now that we're on the subject of sex tapes,
Oh,
Have you guys seen Mike? No, I'm just kidding.
Adam 22.
Adam 22. So for you guys that aren't familiar with that, and if you're not on Instagram, then I don't know what to tell you, or any other platform. But Adam 22 is a podcaster.
No Jumper podcast.
No Jumper
No
podcast.
Jumper
Huge podcast. He has like every rapper on there. Him and his wife, they are in the they're in the porn industry, right?
Yeah.
So they exclusively shoot porn together. They have other women that come on. It's never any males. They literally just got married, and then 4 days later, his wife, is it Lena?
Lena The Plug.
Lena The Plug just shot her first solo porn with Jason Love, which is also known as a what do you
BBC?
A BBC. So it wasn't like she was like, hey, just randomly go with this guy. It's a guy that's known for putting in work. Let's just say that.
Putting in work.
Right.
So much work that she had to take a few days to recover.
Yeah.
Dude,
Oh my
Allegedly.
God.
I mean,
I feel secondhand pain for that man.
Yeah.
Like,
He seems.
Could you imagine?
I could
being
not.
the husband and
No.
Absolutely not.
What do
Just
you
being
mean?
cuffed like
Like
that?
I'm gonna need
No.
to recover. Sorry.
That's what I'm
so many levels to that.
But it kind of goes back to that Kim K thing. Like the money they probably made off of this and the exposure they've gotten within the last 2 weeks has been insane.
But do you think that's worth the mental?
yes.
I don't think so.
No.
But I'm
No,
also I'm not
absolutely
in the
not.
porn industry, so I
Yeah.
don't know. But I mean, I don't care what anybody says. Like, dude, if you're married to someone and they have a daughter together, and it's like,
They have a daughter together.
and it's
Come
like
on.
you come home. I feel like sex is such a shared energy.
I agree.
that it's you have to, as a man, feel some kind of way, you know.
Well, and I feel like if they've already done it, just them two, like why need to bring in another?
Why ruin a good thing?
And at
Yeah.
this point, now you're married, and this point you have a daughter together. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple. There's one reason supposedly was because she was like, "Hey, we always shoot with girls. We always have threesome girls. Like, when can I do it with the guys?" Is what I've heard. And so he was like always saying no, no, no. So now he's like, you know what? Okay. And if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it with someone that's gonna bring the most
so
publicity
that he
to
wasn't
it.
present during hers.
No,
No.
he was at home.
So that's where it's different, also, right? Like,
I
if
mean,
they've
I
had
don't know. I
threesomes
mean-
and stuff, and he's always there.
Yeah, but I don't think you want to sit
I
back
still
and
think
see
as a
it.
man, I would have shot that down and been like, no, you
No.
don't need to. But then it's like, then just draw the boundary. If we're always having a girls, then just let it be you two all the time.
And
Then.
honestly, they
Yeah.
really don't have to. They're doing well for
Yeah,
themselves.
it's like it didn't need to. I don't know.
I know one big conspiracy is I know he was being outed for having relations with a girl that was a minor.
Oh yeah.
When this came out,
I did hear about that, too.
and that was big.
Multiple
it was
times,
multiple
too.
times. So
Yeah.
it was big, and then all of a sudden she shot this porn, and no one even talks about it anymore. So I think the strategy was like, hey, to me, I'm thinking the strategy is like, hey,
That's
let's
a crazy move.
I didn't even think about
This
that.
shiny
Like,
object,
bro,
let's talk about this.
being known as a child sex offender or being known as a guy that let my wife f someone else.
Yep.
If you weigh the options, I think
Yeah.
I would go
Actually,
ladder.
well, okay, yeah, probably.
But that's what I think. But they were saying that this has been planned for a while. They were always going to do it. They didn't think it would be that big. But it's just psychologically, it's just as a male, I feel like.
And it makes him look so like it. I feel like it downgraded him as a man too.
Well,
for
that's
all
what-
of the backlash that he's been getting, just everything. Like it literally downgraded you as a man.
That's what he was saying because he released a video afterwards after all the backlash that he was getting, and he had said that because they're in two industries, like he's in the rap space and the porn space. In the porn space, he's being like, "Oh, that's such like a progressive thing for you to do. That's so like dope." Like all the girls that they've shot with are like praising him.
Yeah.
But in the rap space,
Yeah.
all the
yeah,
guys
no.
are talking
You're
shit
losing-
because
you're
that's-
losing your
that
credibility,
does
honey.
Not fly at all.
Nope.
Sure.
So it's like, okay, you're sacrificing.
You look like a joke
in
at
one
this
area for popularity.
But
in
where is he
another
making
area.
the more money at? Probably in the porn.
Probably the
space.
porn. I would think porn would always make the
100%,
most
yeah.
money. Like, I don't see how. I mean, I'm pretty sure he makes a really good living off his podcast and having people on. But ever since everyone kind of left that podcast,
Yeah.
a lot of big name people were on there. I know that the dude from Brown Bag
Yep.
was on there, and they all left because of that child porn stuff or the child
porn stuff, and
him
he just doesn't seem
disrespecting,
like
yeah.
a good person.
Yeah,
Wait, so he
At
was
this point, I
with
don't
a
even know how
child,
he's
or he
still
was watching
successful, to be
child?
completely
With,
honest.
with a child.
is with the child. I think
Yeah.
she was 7,
She was 17
16 or 17.
So
he was 24.
there's a crazy backstory behind all that, and if you look at who his dad is and who his family's connected to, it makes a lot of sense.
Really?
Because then it gets into like the whole like, you want to go down a conspiracy rabbit hole, because his family's connected to some, I think it was people in government or whatever, like who his dad was affiliated with, and the girl that he was talking to like was referred to him from a friend who had already been talking to other people that he knew. And then he found out that she was 17, and according to him, that's when he cut it off. And then he said, hit me up when you're 18.
Leave
So
it,
that's
leave
his
it, leave it
story.
to Ethan and take it right back down conspiracy.
No, if we
How do you not know somebody is not 18? Like,
Well, this is the thing, though. I mean, nowadays with social media, you see a girl's Instagram. Some of these girls
true.
do not look
their age. Yeah,
at,
absolutely.
at
It's
all.
crazy.
So I mean, I can see maybe if like let's just say you're at the LA County Fair, Orange County Fair, and this girl comes up to you and you're not you know, let me see your ID. If she looks the part,
Yeah, that's
right.
true.
So
True.
I can see how you get caught up.
I also feel like once you start having a conversation, you can pretty quickly tell. Like,
I've had some conversations with some 20-year-olds.
So now
I'm
did
like,
he sleep with this girl and then was like, "Oh, you're 17, my bad." Like,
I'm that's where I'm not too sure
we
whether
don't,
he's
so we don't know if,
or not.
he's
So it might have
slept with
just
her or
been
anything.
entertaining.
Got it.
They know for sure that he was talking to her
Got it.
while she was 17. Yeah.
And he
is
was
correct.
24 at the time.
I think it was like 24, some maybe older. I don't know. I'm just this is all stuff that I read. And again, anything you read on Instagram, you, kinda
You
do
don't
your
really know.
research
So
on.
we don't
Yeah.
really know
We
the
got-
real story. Okay.
There was the video of the guest that he had on.
The guy,
that was
yeah, recording himself.
after they cut the cameras because he was talking about the accusations.
Yeah,
and,
that's right.
He was recording himself, like accusing him, and I was like, "Get the fuck out!"
Yeah, they kicked
all
him
that
out.
kind of shit. But on top of that, he also outed his best friend for sleeping with a trans woman.
Dude, that's a best friend. Jesus.
Like,
People are
yeah. I mean, he muted it, but he didn't like
To be
blur
honest,
his
I've heard
mouth or
nothing
anything
but
like that.
terrible things about this.
Yeah,
dude.
he just doesn't
Yeah.
seem like a good dude.
So
And that's what I'm saying. I felt
And
like
that's from
everything was
people-
trending downward, and then he did this, and not that it, like he's looked at as a better person because of this, but they're back in the spotlight. I mean, I saw
Changing the narrative
Yeah, I
right
saw
Yeah.
like a podcast they did with him and Andrew Tate and another like streamer, and they were like trying to like joke around with Andrew Tate, and he just wasn't having it. They're like, "What about we do like a double penetration on my wife? You
Absolutely.
come down." And he's like, "Honestly, I feel uncomfortable because." Sex between a husband and wife, like we shouldn't talk about it like that. Like I know that's what you guys do, but I would never want to be associated with anything. And I'm like, dang, Andrew Tate getting the W's. On
there you go.
See?
There you
yeah,
go.
he went in this whole like tangent of like how disrespectful that is, and
It
how,
is.
and
I
how
agree.
sex between like he's like, have I had threesomes? He goes, yeah, but I'm not going around sharing it. He goes, it's definitely never going to be my wife,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And then Adam was just kind of like staring off, and then his wife Lena was just like, oh shit,
He's like, fuck, he's kind of spitting right now.
yeah. We're getting schooled by.
I feel like those type of relationships. I've heard so many. I've never heard one relationship where people are being open and letting people come into their like sex life turn out good because the man ends up talking to the girl behind the back. Then that girl, like, guess what? You opened that door. So what are you mad at?
Yes.
Like, be mad at yourself at this point. Like, it's just
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
I
too
think I only-
stingy
I
and
think
I'm
I
too
knew-
like I would never.
I knew
It's
one
not
couple that did that, and they got divorced.
Yeah.
I knew one couple that did that, and they were very open about it, and wasn't a big thing, and they'd go to parties and stuff, and then they got divorced.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't know. I just
I mean, we're emotional. I mean, that you can't. There's
No.
gonna be a point where you're just like, no.
somebody's gonna get.
Never
Yeah.
happening.
Because like the
Feelings
big
hurt.
thing is like, oh, emotionally we're together, but physically we like to,
Yeah, like,
you know,
what?
be with other people. But at some point, that physicality is gonna lead
Yep.
to like a break
Other
in
things.
emotion.
Especially if
Absolutely.
anybody that you bring in doesn't have that same mindset, or they might say they have that mindset, and then they end up falling in love with one of them, and then it just
I don't know.
Energy and
I could
chemistry,
never.
like
I
all that.
could
No,
never.
that's just too much work.
yeah.
that whole
no.
shit was that whole shit was crazy.
Absolutely not.
He's definitely getting backlash though from like the rap community and stuff like that, and just people online. But I think that's what he wants. I think.
Yeah, probably,
I think
you're
he's
right.
thinking of like
Clout
getting
chasing.
no
publicity.
way I could purposely put myself in that situation for clout.
Yeah.
Like,
And you know what's crazy?
Some
is-
people are just built different.
because
Ethan.
that's a forever.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah,
exists
for
forever.
sure.
Your daughter is going to grow up.
Your
and
daughter-
is going
And she's
to
gonna
Google
know
your
about
name.
this.
Right.
And she, I mean, it's just, oh, why are you so famous? Like, you don't think Kim Kardashian's daughters have ever like Googled her name or stuff
And
like that?
supposedly they've
Like,
talked about that where they keep them away from that, but
oh,
how can
God.
you keep?
You can't keep someone away from the
can't.
internet. Like, come on. Like, yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's just, but I feel like when he talks about it and there's the clips that he posts, like you could see his pain. I feel like
No,
'cause
100%.
For
one of the
sure.
one of the parts was he was like, yeah, you know, someone asked like how long the recovery was for it, and he was like, oh, it wasn't that long. She goes, yeah, it was like 4 or 5 days. And then he looked at her
You
like,
can see that man break
like,
inside.
yeah, you can see her like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You shouldn't be saying that.
I'd have
And-
to walk off set.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Pissed.
And then,
Yeah.
and then she jumped on another podcast and she was like, I was so exhausted. Like I was just so tired, and like maybe I shouldn't have told him so much stuff. And I'm thinking, okay, you just left to sleep with this other man, and you come home and you tell me you're just exhausted. So your mind's going crazy.
Just got blown
I
out.
would.
Yeah,
I'd lose my shit.
and she
That.
yeah.
Yeah, no. I couldn't do it.
No.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely not.
good for them making their fast cash, but I mean, I would love to see this revisited in like 5 years.
Oh, they won't
Yeah.
be together.
I'm sure their relationship is like, oh, but anyways,
No, see how their daughter ends up.
wish you the best.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
What else you got?
The Tupac search warrant.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about that.
Kind of over it.
So
I mean, it like he got was it 96,
96.
and there's
Yeah.
like, and then
90s.
I don't know, but like
I don't know what the point of.
Does it say on there like what the search warrant was about? Because I know a lot of people, like I've seen, like I think we've all seen like every Tupac documentary, like on who it was, and supposedly.
and then they're saying that he's already isn't he dead already?
Yeah.
Like his
The
So
guy
what
that,
is
the
it?
guy that was like the highest suspect, he's already dead.
He's already dead.
And I think
Yeah.
I would think it was the guy that he
Like,
jumped
almost 30 years ago.
Yes.
30 years.
Yeah.
ago. Holy shit, I'm old.
I know.
Same.
30 years ago that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did they say what the search warrant was about? I mean, what do you do a search warrant on after all this time?
Yeah,
What are you really gonna
evidence
find
is
after
there?
30
Yeah.
years?
That's what's so crazy to me. I feel like they're just
What is the warrant for to search where?
yeah. Does
like,
it say? I know it's a house in Vegas, but I just don't know what it's about.
So-
but to me, I'm like I'm over it. Like let that man rest in peace already.
The department did not provide further details on the search, citing the open investigation. Department spokesperson Aiden Acampo Gomez said that he could not provide further details on the latest development of the case, including whether it was served at a home or business, citing that it was an open investigation.
Did his family want to open this case? Is
I mean,
that
I'm pretty
what's
sure the
going
family
on?
would want it.
Yeah, the family.
I don't think it's never been closed. Is the
Yeah.
thing. But I'm just like, you have a guy working on the, like, imagine you're at the station. Oh, what are you doing today? I'm still working on that Tupac case.
Yeah.
Like, bro,
Like that is your forever.
it's like
case.
your son's been working on that case. But it's even like, let's just say they do find who it was and that person passed away. We're like, okay, we know who killed Tupac now. Is there more closure? Like, as a family, do you think, like, after 30 years or someone, like, let's say you had a brother and they killed your brother, and after 30 years they find, but that person's dead too. I'm like, is there any more closure?
No,
at that
I don't
point?
think
I don't
so.
think so, but I don't know. you
Yeah.
know?
I find it's different when like they can't. People die and they can't find the body, or they
That, yeah.
like
Yeah.
then you're still trying
Right,
for
of course.
closure because there's so many answers that aren't, or there's so
Yeah.
many questions that aren't answered. But yeah, 30 years, the guy's already dead. What else can you find out?
I
I
mean,
mean, it's just going to keep going because, the FBI killed him, as we all know.
oh, here we go.
If you look at the documents, the FBI documents, they killed him.
Have you? So you look specific. You've looked at the FBI
me pull
documents.
up.
Oh, don't. You're-
Tell us, Ethan.
I need you to
Oh,
start.
shit, he really
Let me
has
see,
it.
Ethan.
Oh my god, I need Ethan to start.
I don't want the FBI.
No, we don't. Yeah, we don't.
Let me see. Well, it's visible it's there for everyone to see.
It's a Freedom of Information Act request.
Oh, great! This podcast is officially going to get canceled.
So,
And we are canceled.
so if you go through,
What does the FBI have to? And you know what? I don't want to know. But
see, the information's out there. Just people believe the narrative that's pushed by the mainstream media.
oh, your phone's getting hacked for sure.
Oh, I already
Oh, for
accepted
sure.
that. Me and my FBI agent are like this.
I mean, the best one I've heard was like that Suge was in on it because he was gonna leave death row and Suge knew it and Suge didn't want him to leave and he kind of set that whole thing up for him to get killed. Like that's why they were at that spot at the particular time. That one is very believable to me. Like
Well-
if they came on and said, "Hey, we have evidence. It's Suge Knight."
There's so many pages.
I would be like, okay, this is worth it. But if it's like, it's some dude that
Well, no, it
hearsay.
was apparently the Suge Knight in connection with the FBI.
I mean,
We can turn this into that kind of podcast if we want to. but
let's not.
After the last one.
all right for
All right,
me.
30 years later, I say let's just let the man rest.
I said let her rest. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, unless his mom. I mean, I get it for the family standpoint.
family.
The family wants closure. That's they're entitled to that. Good for them. But like as far as like the public eye, like I don't know if anyone cares anymore. It's almost like aliens, right? Like you see how many videos of aliens have you seen now, and it's like,
They're out there.
they're out there. Yeah,
We know they
like,
exist.
Yeah.
So one question on that: the person that we think killed Tupac, was he found guilty, or everyone
No.
just
No one's ever
So
found
then
guilty.
that's also why they
No
want
one's ever
to
found guilty.
affirm.
Yeah, no one's ever found guilty.
Yeah.
There's no one they ever blamed it on, but that guy that they think he's dead.
He's dead already.
And how did he die?
Probably, I don't know. I don't really.
Oh, we don't know that.
I mean, 30 years ago, Tupac was in what, his 20s? So he would say like that guy would probably be in their 50s.
No, yeah.
I don't know, to be honest with you, but let that man.
Let him rest.
Let the AI take over. Let all that stuff happen, and it is what it is. R.I.P. Tupac. I mean, dude, he did have some bangers though. There's still stuff I listen to. There's still Tupac. Yeah, he really was though. He was. I know a lot of people say that they are, but there's probably like only a handful of rappers that are poets now, and he was definitely like one of the original ones to me. Right, that I can remember. I know you got like J. Cole. I feel like Lil Wayne's a poet. If you listen to Lil Wayne's stuff is like so good. Kendrick. Kendrick. So you have those poets, and I kind of put him in there. So let that man rest in peace. Hopefully they do find who it is, and there's some closure for the family. But for me, as a spectator, let it.
Like we don't think about this every day. Like still
Sadly. All right, what else we got?
You got The Sound of Freedom that just came out.
Have you seen that movie?
I have not yet.
So in the beginning, like you haven't seen it?
Say spoiler alert if you're gonna talk about.
I'm not gonna like spoil the movie, but I just want to say from watching it, like sitting there, what they did a great job, just like from a perspective, just like film, is they made you so uncomfortable in the beginning of the movie. Like you're sitting there and you're just like, I was like, I can't watch this. I need to leave. Like I don't want to watch this anymore. It's making me feel so uncomfortable. But like at the perfect time of the movie, they switched the narrative and then it made you feel like better. Like you felt better, you know? They just did such a good job. It's a great movie. It's very hard to watch in the beginning and it's like eye-opening because it's stuff that we really don't think about and it's happening every day. And to know that in the United States where it's the most cases are here in the United States and California being one of them is just like wow.
So does this, I mean, because I do want to watch it, are they saying like how they're getting these kids? Is it just like missing persons?
So this one takes place in is it Colombia? I think this one. So so
this is not from another country.
So it's another country where this takes place, but the guy who is on the case is from here. It's from the United States.
Yeah.
And he goes there and helps find these kids.
It's already been documented. I'm not too big on conspiracy theories, but then when I heard that this movie was made 4 years ago and that Disney wanted no part of it, Netflix wanted no part of it, no one wanted any part of it, and from everyone I've heard, it's not like they're supporting it because everyone. I mean, I feel like everyone should be against child trafficking. That's like a duh, right? But it's like people really did enjoy the movie. Like it was a really good movie. It wasn't like a right-wing type movie or a left-wing type movie. It wasn't. It was a normal, like you would go watch a Mission Impossible type movie. Good action, good acting, good everything. So it just makes you think like, okay, Netflix is about the money, Disney's about the money. This movie was already made. Like why would you not want to put that up? Yeah, because we've all seen the conspiracies of like the theaters turning off the air, which I don't know how true that is. Or I saw one where this girl went to book it and it said it was completely full. Yeah. And then so she got like a single ticket and she went in there and there was nobody in the theater. So like I obviously went on and I was like, oh, I want to see. So every time I picked a showing, it was almost sold out. I hope it is actual people watching that, but I low-key wanted to be like, I just want to get this one ticket all the way in the front just to kind of see if that's actually true. But I mean,
that, and you have like all like the news labeling it as like a right-wing QAnon,
and they're trying to say that
how are you so openly going against like a movie that is exposing human trafficking, something that shouldn't be a political issue?
Take politics out.
Like they're trafficking kids. That's a human issue.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
So does it say what they're doing with these kids? I mean, obviously I have an idea.
They're using them for sex.
But I mean, is it like, okay, so
Jason, they tell you what they're doing. They show you. And there's men and they're literally like, I guess it could be spoiler. They show like they're literally purchasing these children. And some of them, like, it's like you're pimping them out, really. Think about it. And it's like, I have this person in this country on this island that is looking for a child. And they transport these children and they show that they're on boats, they're on this, they transport them to these people.
All right, they have them. So let me ask you a question.
And they're using them for sex.
Do you think it's like, okay, so you know how people sell drugs, right? There's like different turfs, there's different things. Do you think it's like a universal ring? Like one person does it and this person's like, oh, I got all the kids, anyone that wants them comes to me? Or you think it's like different?
Yes, there's literally a lady who, in the beginning of the movie, they show you how different people are working. It's crazy. It's just disgusting. You know, and to know that the most cases are here in the United States and in California is even just like so disturbing. Like, okay, so this is like, I just thought of this right now. Movies don't just pop out of nowhere, right? So like if you see a movie, it had to be something that someone saw, like a director. What's that movie with they steal his daughter and
Taken?
Taken. right? So if you have you ever seen Taken? Taken, and then they're selling her to
Oh, I
the highest
remember that
bidder.
scene. Yeah.
So that had to have been something that like the director knew of or has seen before. Because
Yes.
now what you're
because
telling
that's
me.
a normal, but trafficking is a normal thing that
Yeah,
happens.
but-
People get trafficked every single day.
But the way that you describe, like they're buying them, that's what it was in the movie.
Yeah.
Like literally, they're like the highest
well, that's
bidder.
why people get they traffic people
That's
because
crazy.
they want to sell them for sex.
I mean, I typically would be like no, but then after the Epstein Island thing, I'll never forget listening to Joe Rogan, and they
it's
had
so sad. These kids are like 5.
no,
like-
yeah, they had what was his name? His conspiracy theory friend.
Alex Jones?
Alex Jones on it. Alex Jones was like, there's an I never forget listening to this, and I was
Oh,
like, this
yeah.
guy's so stupid. He's like, there's an island where all the celebrities go. Barack Obama goes there, and they have sex with kids, and even Joe Rogan's like, do you have proof? He even told him like, stop,
Yeah.
like stop saying that,
Yeah.
you know, and then
Came out.
it all comes out.
Yep. And
then
we
there's
still haven't seen that list.
the list. There's been missing emails. He hung himself.
Yep.
The woman, I think she like disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't know if she's alive.
Maxwell.
Yeah. uh-huh.
She's apparently, they're calling her the jail Karen because she's making like a ton of like lists and demands because she's uncomfortable in prison.
Yeah, and they'll probably believe they'll probably abide by those because she has probably a lot of
can't.
information.
Yep.
Yeah. So that movie, I mean, I would say it's creating the most buzz. I saw Dana White post something on his Instagram where
Yep.
he's going to buy tickets for his whole entire staff, and it just almost makes me feel.
need to watch
Yeah,
the
no, I do. I do want to.
Even as you having a daughter,
Yeah.
like you need to like it's crazy.
I mean, honestly,
can't
I feel like
explain
even
it.
if you don't have kids, we all have
Right.
siblings, we have cousins,
Yep.
we have something. We're
Yep.
like, and I feel like almost every child is our responsibility. This is why I feel like every child is your
Yes.
responsibility. If I go to the
Absolutely.
grocery store and I see like a 3-year-old just walking by himself, and I don't see a parent, that now becomes my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't matter. Like I feel like children and elderly are the two that are everyone in this world's issue. Like
Yep.
you should be able to help them. Even if I don't know them, I don't care what their circumstances is. If a kid comes up to me and is like, "Hey, dude, I haven't eaten however long," that is now my responsibility. So
Yeah.
that's what like kind of trips me out the most, that this movie isn't being pushed more by more celebrities, by
Yeah.
more
But
people,
that's
by
the
more things.
disturbing part about it. Like, why would it not be? Do you know what I mean? You would think that you would see more celebrities posting about this and trying to put it out there and like, but you're not, and that's the most disturbing part about it all.
Man, it's a fact. I didn't know that about California.
God's
though.
children are not for sale.
I did not know that about California.
Yes.
I just, I mean, I don't, what kind of people like, we just kind of talked about like the Adam 22 thing, like where your mindset is like for you to be able to like traffic kids, like where's your mind at where you're so okay?
How depraved of a human do you have
Yeah,
to be?
where you're so okay to like snatch up, like you said, a 5-year-old, take them to another country, knowing what's gonna happen to
At
them.
the end
You know,
of the movie, they show like
Spoiler alert.
video. Sorry, but yeah, spoiler. But at the end of the movie, they do show like how they snatch them in these countries and how they're just like off the streets. They'll show different videos of it, and it's almost like, oh my god, that is so scary. People not looking, someone just runs up, takes your kid.
yeah,
or,
no,
like,
I've seen them.
Yeah.
I've seen it here in LA. I've seen like them having, and a guy will. I saw one where this guy jumped over this little metal fence to get the kid, and the mom fought him off. And I'm like, what do you do? What are you gonna do with that kid? That's what I always think is like, where are you gonna take this kid? Like, it's not like stealing a purse that has a valuable. Like, what are you gonna do with
You're
this
gonna
kid?
sell him for
And they even stage those videos too, right? Like, watch, no one's gonna even react. And there's videos of people like staging these kidnappings, and people just like walking down the street.
Really? I've never
yeah,
seen that.
I have seen that.
I feel like you automatically have to throw hands. Like it doesn't matter. Like there's no like I feel like throwing hands and then asking questions later when it comes to something like that.
Yeah, but
Man. So
Ugh, it's so
and,
disturbing.
And the California law that they just tried passing.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
right.
What was
So
it in
they
regards
were
to?
trying. They were
It's not a
taking it out
felony.
for it to be a felony. Like they were trying. So they were.
They took
But
it out.
then I heard that because they were getting so much for that, they
They
brought it back
reversed
in.
it.
Yeah.
You
So I
fucking
don't really know.
pedophiles.
I haven't looked back in. But yeah, the fact that California
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
That pisses me off.
literally was like, no, we're not going to make child like trafficking,
yeah.
just trafficking in general, a felony.
A felony.
How are you not going to make that a felony?
Yeah.
Like,
are you
what's,
kidding
what
me?
the fuck's wrong with you?
Like, are you? What kind of freaking state? I'm sorry, this makes me so angry. But it's just
I'm getting the next thing.
I honestly would love to hear the reason why, like from their mouth. Like I would love to sit there. Is there anything on there? The reason why they didn't want to pass it? Like,
and it just starts making me think like you guys are trying to normalize pedophilia. Like that's how I feel. Like so many different things just show like never mind. I'm not trying to get canceled here, but
Well, there's been, did you see the one on I think it was the LOL dolls or the Bratz dolls where if you put them in water, they have like
I
lingerie.
remember you told me.
Yeah. They do. You put
was
them in
true.
water.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because they really had that.
they're little, the little dolls, and then if you put it in water, then
Put it in cold
their
water.
lingerie shows up.
And I remember I tried it on my daughter's dolls and it for sure, it had it. I was like, what the heck? That's
People
kinda-
were posting videos of it too. I was like, oh my gosh.
And you see it online. And again, I'm a big, like, if I see it online, I need to do a lot more research before I pick a
Yep.
side. And so I was like, oh, let me see. She has a doll. She has a couple of those. And we put them in water, and sure enough,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, sure enough, they had a little lingerie on. I mean, they could say it's just underwear and a bra, but it's like, what do you even need to have, have that showing? Like, I don't know. I just remember like old school toys that we had, like GI Joes or whatever. They were just plastic bodies.
Yeah.
So some progressive lawmakers have opposed toughening penalties for sex trafficking because they were persuaded that it would contribute to the over-incarceration of black people.
So what they're trying to say is like
That's a direct quote.
Are they
from
trying to say that?
CalMatters.org.
Wow.
Okay, so let me ask you. I mean, you may know this or not. What classifies trafficking a child? So like if I got into an argument with my wife and I took my daughter and I left the state, am I trafficking her?
You're kidnapping.
You're kidnapping.
That's a
Okay,
kidnap.
so what's
Trafficking is
well, I want to see the actual term. Like what is
Like taking and selling, right? Is that?
But I mean, so that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see it. It's almost like it goes back to like if you pee in a school, you're a sex offender type of. Like,
Yes,
it goes on your
yeah.
record. There's
If you
no
pee in public and
Yes.
near a school, yeah.
and there's
uh-huh.
it's blanketed. It's you're a sex offender. So that's kind of messed up, right? Because if you're like drunk and you're out somewhere and like you're peeing and all of a sudden you're by a school and now you're labeled as a sex offender that you have to report to everybody. So is this trafficking children closely related to like maybe a dad taking his kid, or I don't know. I'm just trying to find the whole scoop. I don't understand. I'm trying to play the devil's advocate here. I'm trying to see what exactly is classified
The
as
definition.
So I'm not
Yeah.
seeing an exact definition and breakdown of it, what it is, but I feel like it's kidnapping with the intent to sell
So
or distribute.
How do you know that someone's trying to sell? And maybe we probably won't figure it out on this podcast, but that's just questions that I have when I hear that. On the surface, it sounds ridiculous, right? You traffic children, 100%.
But why else would you kidnap somebody?
There's so
But there's also in this movie they show you how they like do it too. Like I won't spoil the movie for you,
Yeah,
but
please
like
don't.
there's literally like they're selling these children. They have their picture, and then people are picking them, and they're taking them to their places, and they're them.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
I mean, to answer your question, there was someone that I knew that he had a baby with a girl. The girl turned out to be kind of crazy, but she would like lie and file police reports and stuff, and he never got to see his daughter. And so he picked her up from school one day, knowing he shouldn't have. Took her, spent the day with her, whatever. The mom called the cops, all kinds of stuff, and they arrested him for like kidnapping.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that would be like, okay, now does he deserve to go to jail? I don't think so. He wants to see his kid. He took her back to the house, right? He just said like, you don't let me see her. Like my daughter's asking for me. Then he takes him back, and then he goes home, and the cops go and they arrest him, rightly so, because he shouldn't have done that. But would that be quote unquote like I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's why
I feel like
That'd be
a
kidnapping.
pretty clear, just kidnapping.
It's clear. But they do investigation.
no.
You know what I mean?
And I get that, but you hear laws, and the thing is, again, if I don't do the research, I don't know.
You're a pedophile. You're kidnapping, you're sex trafficking children. Like that should be a felony, and you
100%.
should go to jail.
On the surface,
they
yes.
should beat your ass.
Yeah. On the surface, 100%. Like
Every day.
I don't.
And the thing
argue
is,
with
if you're going
don't
to
deserve to be
court
here.
for it, there's going to be evidence and things like that. It's not like you're
Yeah.
automatically going to jail. No,
Yeah.
you're still going to court, and you have the
Sure.
right to a lawyer and everything. So why is it not even on the table if you are found guilty?
Yep.
True. You're innocent until proven guilty,
Yes,
right? In
yeah.
America, so yeah, that's a hard one, especially. I mean,
It needs to be a felony. Period.
especially with people that have kids, like you couldn't even imagine. I mean, even if I go out, like I always feel bad. There's a lady that sells flowers, and she always has her 2 kids there, and it's hot. And I always
Mm-hmm.
buy flowers. I don't even need them. And do I think she's using that money for them? I don't know. But the fact that
Who's to say she still needs it more than you do?
but the fact that she
Yeah.
has those kids
And
out
you just
there.
want to
Yeah.
get the kids out of the heat.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
pretty much
yeah.
what you're
And
doing.
there was even one time I bought I feel like I got hustled. I probably did. I bought a Christmas tree because I was buying a Christmas tree, and the family's like, "Oh, we can't afford one." I said, "I'll buy you one." And they're like, "Well, can we get like a big one and a small one?" And I'm like, you know what? If you're hustling on my Christmas tree, it's okay. At least on my conscience, I know, like, hey, the kids were happy. They got like a little small one and they got a big one. But I'm like, I don't even have 2 Christmas trees.
Yeah.
But anytime like a kid's involved, I just kind of feel like, if you could let it slide, you let it slide. You know, the lady's out there every single day, right by the gym, and she has her 2 kids. And I'm like, if you in 100 whatever degree weather, if you have to have those 2 kids, and I've offered them food, she won't take food. She only take money. So that always makes me feel a little when they won't take anything else other than money.
I just feel for kids so much. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I just
that's
want them all protected at all times.
I definitely want to see it. I think it'd be harder. It was it's funny to hear like a big old buff trainer that we had at West Covina. He's like, I saw it and I was crying. I've never cried in theater, and I was like, that's good though, dude. I mean, you know, he's like, I don't have kids or anything. I go, you don't have to be a parent. You don't have to be surrounded by kids. I feel like it's built into us as human beings.
It's just
to
like
see kids or elderly.
The empathy.
It's just that innocence.
Yeah,
you
the
know?
innocence.
Like,
Innocence, and then people are robbing them of their innocence, and just seeing, you got to watch the movie. It's just so
definitely.
heartbreaking.
If you guys have seen it, don't spoil it for me because I want to see it. So that's definitely on the bucket list. If I could get a ticket, those things are always sold out.
But I know
I just wanna say
I think it's
California,
reached
what the
100
fuck?
million.
I do gotta
It's reached
say
100
that
million in sales.
Nice.
it says here that Newsom actually was on the Republican side of things.
A lot of people were on the Republican side.
Wow.
He got involved and he called the.
Is that how it got overturned?
I'm not
I don't
sure.
think it was him specifically,
but I think it
was
played a
lot.
part
Yeah.
seeing him as an open Democrat supporting the Republicans on overturning or not
So
overturning.
it was
but-
overturned.
Yeah, it was up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, it was overturned.
Okay,
Yeah, it
that's
went
good.
through.
Okay.
He's just trying to run for president.
I know.
And I don't care what he still doesn't get my vote.
He's still, he's
I'm-
still
I'm
not.
still trying to
not
figure
happy.
out like why they would even try to pass
Yeah.
a bill like this.
Well, you said why.
No,
Yeah,
I know. He did. Yeah,
But like a legitimate.
that sounds pretty legitimate. But are you saying that most
And they had
African Americans
people-
are smuggling children? That's what
No,
I'm saying.
I-
Like that's
I'm
what
saying
They
that-
had people in the courthouse who have like experienced trafficking and stuff, like they're like telling their testimonies and like crying and like they
And
still
they got away. Did they say how they get away?
they still try to pass that. It's crazy.
Yeah, because do they get away? Like the people survived
probably-
it?
Yeah, so there's
How-
people
how-
who've survived.
How did they get away? Did they say?
I mean, there's different stories, you know.
Wow.
People have saved them. People like even now, people have found. There was somebody wrote me on Instagram, and somewhere in Vegas, they said their like friend's neighbor, they had went into a house. The cops had went and raided a house, and there was a room full of children
Oh my God, that's insane.
being trafficked
That's insane,
in Vegas. They found this, yeah.
man. Yeah, I mean, no matter what, I want to watch the movie. For one, I am genuinely interested in how everyone speaks highly of it, but also
Yeah.
to support. I mean, if that's the way we can do it, so.
So another thing, going back to the conspiracy where people were saying like they were like saying that the seats were sold so that nobody can watch it. I heard another story. I heard people were just buying tickets just to support the movie, like because they couldn't go. So people were just buying
That makes
tickets just
sense.
to support
That
the
makes
movie
sense.
so that it can like be high in the
well.
box. You
That
know what I
makes
mean?
a
And
lot
do
of
well.
sense, yeah.
So I heard people were buying tickets so the movie could do well. So I don't know. There's
Yeah.
again, there's two sides. You never really know, but yeah, that's what I heard.
Okay, so I can see. So there's an actual quote here now from one of the Democratic members of the committee, and so it would have to do with the 3 strikes model of sentencing, which is ineffective in preventing crime and protecting the public safety, and that passing the bill to make it a more serious felony would all it would do is increase our investment in systems of harm and subjugation at the expense of the investments that the communities need to not have this be a problem to begin with. So their whole argument was that the longer sentences don't always result in a drop in that crime, and that increasing the sentences just increases the amount of money that's put into.
So they cared more
Yeah.
about the money than
They cared more about the money.
basically.
Yeah,
Because statistically, it's not going to
because statistically making us like increasing the sentence for a particular crime statistically
is not doesn't mean that it's gonna. But still, I don't care. They still need to serve their time, and they
Just make it
still
a
need
death
to be a
penalty.
felony.
Just make it a death
And
penalty.
Exactly. Like
I mean,
honestly,
it
they
goes
still do
back
not
to-
need to be walking on these streets. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It goes
F
back
the
to,
money. These children are worth more than what you think. That like, sorry, no.
No, yeah, it kind of goes back to. It reminds me of drug dealers. Like you could take every drug dealer off. There's gonna be someone to replace.
Yeah.
them.
Of
course.
So it's like.
But that doesn't mean we
CIA.
try. That doesn't mean we stop trying.
No, no, right,
And it doesn't mean
right, but I'm
it
saying
doesn't
that's
mean
what they're-
that people don't have to face the consequences of their action.
Yeah.
That would be crazy if it was just like automatic death penalty.
that's how it should be.
I mean, that would never pass, but that would be. I mean,
I don't
Texas.
know why.
Hey, Texas.
Honestly,
I wouldn't put it past Texas.
You're
Honestly,
I wouldn't put it
a
past Texas.
grown man
If you-
and you're raping children.
You
and you're
deserve,
watching like your children porn. Like
And you're
yeah, no, you do
distributing
not
that?
need to be,
This
I'm
might be
sorry,
graphic.
I'm sorry, Jesus, forgive me, but you do not need to be walking this earth. I'm sorry. Like
You
that's-
deserve.
Never mind.
Yeah,
I'm not
I mean,
being
Yeah.
forced, but-
all right. What else? What else we got?
We all agree on this.
And,
Yes.
and-
Topic.
and right now, Jesus is like, hey, you should have got baptized. I don't care if your toenails are.
What about your
chipping.
Yeah, at this point, Jesus is like, you see, this is why.
Okay. On a more lighter
Did not
note,
get
Sophia
baptized 'cause my
Vergara,
toes
single.
were
How do you
dead.
say her last name?
Vergaria?
Vergaria.
Love her.
She's single now.
Do we know why?
I'm about to find out.
It was there cheating involved? Was
Who
it
was she
just
married
growing
to?
apart?
Joe, was that-
M? It sounds, last name starts with an M, right?
Joe
She's so
Mag-
Joe
she's
Maglio.
beautiful. That
She's
lady, she is a
gorgeous.
beautiful woman.
Should be all right. Next. Should be all right.
Oh, Joe Manganiello.
Well,
Yeah.
everyone's
Probably
always
butchered
on.
that.
That last
but
name,
it's okay.
But
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Lindsay
gonna be
Lohan had a kid.
Good for her.
That's cool.
Yeah, she's had a lot of trauma.
How old
in her
is
life.
she?
She's in her 30s for sure.
Who had a
right?
kid?
Lindsay
Lindsay
Lohan.
Lohan.
Oh, I mean,
Good
that's
for her.
Who's
She's
her-
37.
Good for her.
Oh, okay. Who's
Was
her
it-
baby daddy?
Yeah.
Bader Shamas.
Okay.
And I'm not mispronouncing.
Yeah.
That's literally how it's spelled. Bader Shamas. And then we have the Jordan's best friends with the Kardashians again, or on talking terms with them.
That's correct.
Saw that on
I didn't know that.
I wanna
Why
see
were
what-
they split? Or
Because of
'cause I-
Chloe.
So what happened,
What happened
was
there?
Jordan okay, so
Flirting with Tristan
Those of you
Thompson,
guys that
right?
don't know and don't care probably
dun,
tune
dun.
out right now. And the fact that I know all this stuff.
There's such
God.
polarity in topics. We're just watching trash.
I watch way too much trash TV.
Yeah, you
I
do.
swear.
It gets through your cardio.
That's definitely it is. Honestly,
Yeah,
it's all
it's
my
cardio.
it's my toxic trait. So Kylie's best friend was Jordan. Chloe was with
Tristan.
Jordan kissed.
Did they ever
Tristan.
kiss, or was she just like flirting with him,
No, they
like
kissed.
sitting on his lap or something?
Because I saw
Oh,
it. Yeah,
shit.
they kissed. And then so obviously Chloe's like, bitch, that's your best friend. Like, check her. So she checked her. This isn't really her what she's saying. She's like, yeah,
my man. You
so
kissed
she kicked
my
her
man.
out. So then but she was it got bigger headlines because they were like she was part. I want to say like part of the show. Like Jordan was on a lot of the Keeping Up with the
Yeah.
Kardashians, and she was like the best friend. She lived in her pool house or her second house.
And did this happen after Chloe found out Tristan was already cheating in the past? I think so, right?
Yes, he'd already cheated, and then they tried to reconcile, and then that happened, and then she ended up having another baby with him, and then he ended up having 2 more kids with 2 other.
He did?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he has like
damn.
3 different.
He has like 3, yeah.
4
yeah.
different baby mamas
yeah.
now.
And she's, Chloe's one of them. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude, and it's funny too, because they're just like so cool with them. Like the whole family's like just so cool. You see that he played, because they traded him to the Lakers, right? And the Lakers were in the playoffs, and Kim Kardashian went with Noor.
Yeah, I saw.
And she was wearing like she was
He
wearing.
didn't even play, right? Like he wasn't even
play. She had a sign. She had a sign made for him. Like that's just crazy.
That
I feel
just-
like
yeah, no.
I mean,
and that's where it's like, if your family's cool with him, why can't you be friends again with?
I mean, if that was your family, would they be like cool with like
With what?
like if you had a baby daddy and your baby daddy cheated on you with one of your cousin's best friends, like would they like, oh, come back into the house, you're cool, like it'd be acceptable?
No,
Like,
no.
I don't see. Yeah,
But then again, that's the question. How much is real? How much is doctored? You know?
I think it's
'Cause
pretty
they-
real, 'cause they
'cause the
literally
narrative-
blackballed that girl Jordan. Like they blackballed
Yeah.
her. Like she lost I think she lost a couple like deals that she had. They kicked her.
Oh,
she kicked her out of
damn.
the house. Like it wasn't anything that was like for the show. I get what you're saying, because some of the stuff I feel is for the show, but this was like everybody was
lasted
slandering
years
her name.
after. It
Yeah,
lasted
because
for years
they were
after.
slandering this girl's name. So and now
It's been
they're.
at least 3 years.
I mean, I guess that old adage, "What time heals all."
Yeah.
You think that's kind of what it is?
Some
Time
some
or money.
things.
Time and money. And I mean, do you think
And she
cares?
was not. She still had tons of followers. She was still making money. She still had,
Well, now she's kind of getting a backlash because she's back with Kylie, and people are like, "We supported you when," because they hate Kardashians, right? So they're like, "We supported you when you weren't
like,
with." Yeah,
people just have too much of an opinion at this end of the day. Like,
I
it's
feel
not
like
even.
if she came from like she was like
Jeez.
genuinely like sorry, like, hey, I fucked up. Like,
Yeah,
that's
and I
pretty
mean-
fucking.
And that's real life, right? Like, I'm sure we all have situations with our best friends that didn't go out as planned. Theirs is just
Yeah.
publicized.
I mean, nothing
and a whole
like.
nother-
Is something you want to say, Marissa? I don't. I
I'm just
can't relate.
saying, no, I'm just saying.
She's like, I
Like,
can relate, you guys. I can't relate to any of that. So no, all my best friends listening, I have never tried to get with your girl. So I do not relate with what Jordan's doing. But I mean, Tristan is Tristan. He's proven who he is and
He's grimy.
what he's capable of. So it's almost like, don't put it in front of him, girl. He's gonna try.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Following that up with
Another grimy man.
another grimy man,
Grimiest man.
Larry Nasir,
Oof.
the disgraced sports doctor,
The Olympic, right?
the Olympic, yeah,
Yeah.
for the Women's Olympics,
Was stabbed.
one that was, like-
stabbed.
was this is actually a beautiful story. He was stabbed 12 times
12
in
times.
prison.
And he's
Chest and
still
neck.
alive.
Still alive.
Still
does not-
alive.
Yeah, because I know he got jumped by inmates when he first got in there.
Which rightfully so.
Yeah.
And then now, I mean, God, that guy must be going through hell, though. I mean, it's almost
Good.
better. What I'm saying is, it's almost better he survived.
Oh, 100%.
because
So they can keep doing it. Yeah.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure
He's gonna kill himself.
I mean, they probably have him like on a suicide watch or something. He probably has like I mean, he's a normal inmate. He doesn't have no protection, so he's probably like in a 2-cell or 1-cell
Yeah.
person. And
Is
yeah. You're thinking of Epstein. Epstein was
Yeah.
by himself alone. You know what I mean? So this guy,
Well, Epstein was also connected to like some very wealthy and influential
Yeah.
people. This guy was just a grimy doctor.
that's crazy. He got
Jeez.
stabbed. But that's kind of the rules of. I mean, not that I've ever been to jail, but that's kind of the rules of
Yeah.
the lay of the land, right? Like,
Yeah, I feel like
That's
there's
how
no
they come for the
crime,
rapists
yeah.
and the pedophiles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the worst crime. in jail.
Yeah, I had a friend a while ago, and he was a sheriff for a county, and he told me that they arrested a guy that was charged with molesting a kid in the neighborhood, and he goes, "Yeah, someone accidentally put him in Gen Pop, like when we were processing."
accidentally.
Accidentally.
Yeah, I go, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, poor guy got fucked up." But I go, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I mean, they're supposed to have their own, but I don't know what happened during processing, and he got put with that." I was like, "Dang."
Accidentally.
Justice, it's almost, I feel like that, like, they say, "Oh, I want to kill them right away." I feel like letting the inmates kind of
Fuck with them.
fuck with them is worse than an immediate
it's torture.
death.
Oh, definitely.
Right? Like, imagine if you're like, "Yeah, I fucked up. Okay, it sucks because you're gonna die. Lights turn off." But imagine every morning waking up and like potentially
Oh,
you're
yeah,
eating
definitely.
What's gonna happen?
or what's
today?
gonna happen.
You're on edge every
Yeah,
single day.
you're on edge every that guy. And that if you guys have seen a picture of him, he ain't defending himself.
No, there's no way.
anything.
There's no way.
This dude can't. I mean, who knows if he knows some shit? But that guy's so small and tiny. Like, I don't think he's throwing hands at all.
Not at
And
all.
what is his current sentence right now? Is it for life? I
I don't think it's life. I think it's,
It's
a
just-
while though. I think it's like a good 30, 20 years. And he was already
I think
older.
it's 25 years?
25 years. It seems to be like besides life, 25 years is like the max, I feel.
Oh shit!
No,
40
that's
to
what-
175
Yeah,
years.
because
How much?
they did
40
per,
to 175
per,
years.
That's life.
person.
Oh, that's life then.
Yeah.
Right? It was like so many years per person that came forward.
And how many girls was it that came forward?
I want to say it was like over 40.
Yeah. Because he was like, he was the gymnastics coach. So
Yeah.
it was like-
7 days of victim impact statements.
Oh.
7 days.
Wow.
and some big names came out for that.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like the whole the gold medalists.
Gymnastics.
Yeah.
team. Yeah.
How long did he do it for?
For a long time because he was getting these girls when they were young. So it was like
Decades
they just thought
Of sexual abuse.
Was it one of the things where he's like, if you don't do
It's-
this,
no, it was
then you're
part of
gonna
their
get kicked off
physical-
the team?
No, like,
or
it was part of their physical.
He just told them it was part of like what he was supposed to do. Apparently,
Yes.
I think is how.
And
it
so
went.
he started doing this when they were younger, and it was just part of their physical.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Was he married or anything?
He doesn't.
He doesn't look like
It doesn't look like a married guy.
Oh, so it wasn't like, if you don't do this, you're not going to make the team.
No,
like,
it was,
okay, like cough and whatever.
Type, but
Yeah.
a little bit more invasive.
Yeah.
And then I think some of the girls did report it, and the Olympic team just dismissed it.
That's what it says here. She meticulously Because one of the girls. Okay, so the final speaker was Rachel Denhollander. Apologies if I messed that name up. The former gymnast who first made Nassar's abuse public in September 2016.
Wow.
In the Indie Star, she meticulously laid out the ways that the systems failed her and other women and allowed this abuse to continue for so long.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until all the girls got together and started, the case and fight for themselves that it progressed forward.
Yeah.
Because no one else wanted to
They didn't
do
want to
it.
deal with it.
Yeah.
So they just kept on saying, "Oh, we'll handle it internally," and they never did anything.
Damn. So basically, that guy has a life of getting tormented until somebody eventually kills him.
Or until he,
I mean, he's gonna get old where he's just gonna get jumped one day and he's just gonna.
1,000%.
Yeah.
What about did you guys hear about what is it called in Canada? Now we're speaking about like death. I know it's great. But in Canada, they're trying to pass that law where you can it's called basically like say I want to die.
Euthanasia.
Oh, assisted suicide.
Assisted deaths.
Yeah.
And so they're trying to pass it because like so there's this lady, for example, she's like in her 40s and she suffered from mental illness her whole life, and it was like anorexia, and she just no longer wants to live anymore. So she asked if like they can just kill her, doctor. So now they're trying to pass a law.
Look that up, Ethan, so we get it. We
and
get
now
the
they're trying
verbiage
to
right.
pass the assisted death law because right now it already takes place in Canada where like let's say you have a disease or like cancer and stuff, like you can have assisted deaths. I forgot. There's like thousands of like people who've already like had
like just to make it more comfortable. And they just
I mean,
speed it up.
that makes sense to me.
yeah.
You have to be
so
found
that,
eligible.
So that is that, but that's for a disease. So now they're trying to pass it for mental illness.
So anyone requesting the service must meet specific eligibility criteria to receive medical assistance in dying. Any medical practitioner who administers an assisted death to someone must satisfy certain safeguards first. So it seems like there's a
Protocol.
It's not like this is just a
I
pass
want to
law.
die. Go
Well,
for
it hasn't,
Yeah,
and this one
it's-
hasn't passed yet. They're still trying to place this
Look
law
up-
for.
So there are two methods actually that are currently available. A physician or nurse practitioner directly administers a substance that causes death, such as injection.
Right, like they would do the death penalty.
Yeah, they would do death penalty.
Yeah. Yep.
And then the second one, a physician or nurse provides or prescribes a drug that the eligible person takes themselves in order to bring about their own death. This is sometimes called self-administered medical assistance in dying.
It's overdose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is new. This is so look at what she's talking. She's talking about a new law is trying to be passed. So put new law trying to be passed in Canada for. I mean, if someone has a mental illness, isn't that the whole point? Is like they want to kill themselves, so you get them help. I wonder if there's a.
Well, maybe it's that extra layer of trying
I
to
guess
help
this
somebody.
lady she's been trying. Well, I mean, I
I mean, how do you try? I mean, if you're gonna kill yourself, you kill yourself.
Yeah,
right?
but I guess she's been not trying to kill herself. She's been trying to go through therapies and nothing's helped her, and she still has
that's
this
so hard to
disease.
believe. That's so sad.
And so she wants to just die. And I'm just like, wow, I don't know. And so they're trying to pass where people with mental illness can have assisted deaths.
It's so crazy what some people go through. I mean, it's like.
And
I can't even fathom even alcoholism.
So unfortunate.
You know, there's something.
So it's set to become legal in March 2024.
And
See?
what's the specifically? Can you have someone kill you for? Sounds so weird saying. Have someone assist you in death for mental illness? That doesn't sound right. I
Yeah,
feel like you should go through some counseling, right? Because
Well, I
that might
guess she
be a
has.
layer.
She's
Okay,
been
so-
going through it for years,
Okay.
and it hasn't helped her.
So MAID, that's what the abbreviation is, for those whose sole underlying condition is a mental disorder, includes conditions that are primarily within the domain of psychiatry, such as depression and personality disorders. It does not include neurocognitive and neurodevelopmental disorders, nor other conditions that may affect cognitive abilities. To be clear, neurocognitive disorders such as dementia, Huntington's, and Parkinson's are not considered mental illness and are not included in
Yeah,
the
those
temporary
are.
restriction as directed in Bill C-7 in March 2021. Some people with neurocognitive and neurodevelopmental disorders such as dementia can currently qualify for MAID if they meet all the criteria.
that's insane.
It's crazy.
That is insane. I mean, I just feel like that's not right. At
I
any,
know, I
at
don't
any
either.
level.
Yeah.
I just can't. I don't agree with it either.
Even
But
some people who are going through that level, they also like sign their rights away to older people, like to a caregiver, right? So what if now that right's not even yours, and now your caregiver is making that decision for you?
Man,
Yeah.
I mean, but that's
You know
this
what
is
I'm saying?
Canada
Like,
though. I don't know
this-
how it is in Canada. So I don't know. I know the medical system's different from here in
Different,
Canada. So I don't.
I think I just
yeah.
found the story of the girl you're
Yeah,
talking
so-
about.
Yeah.
She's 47, anorexic, and wants help dying. Canada will soon allow it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Canada.
It's crazy.
That just makes my heart hurt.
It just
I
makes
know.
it makes it hard that
It breaks
that,
my heart
that,
that-
that
yeah.
she feels that's her
That
only
people
choice.
feel like that. Yeah, like she
like
just.
you have no help, you have no
So
one
I
else.
just want to die. Like that is so sad.
Because I really
Breaks my
I
heart.
really do feel like everyone goes through some kind of mental breakdown.
Absolutely.
We all
All the
do,
time.
whether it be small or big, and we all go through a certain level of depression. You know, seasons like. You know, all of us do. I've been through times where it's kind of
Absolutely.
like, God damn, why am I so sad today? Or even like, or you start thinking of things that
Yeah.
maybe you need to accomplish as you haven't accomplished, or things that just seem like, oh my God, this task is so daunting. Like, it kind of makes you feel like, why haven't I been here? You know, something on social
Yeah.
media you see.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's always a way to kick yourself out of it. And I understand if it's like a chemical imbalance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, but there's medication.
It's like one of those things where we just don't understand. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a friend that was an alcoholic, and this person kicked it, and they were fine, have kids and everything. And I just recently found out that they started drinking again, and they had to go back to rehab after 14 years of not drinking. And I'm
Wow.
like, that's so crazy how like I could go without alcohol easily, but how that one drug, whether it be just takes such a control over you. But I
Yeah.
think it's just like we kind of talked about prior. It's like that's the release.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
we use certain things to
release.
So
Yeah.
it's almost like learning a way to deal with stress, I feel, without it being something that's like a chemical imbalance, you know, out of your control. But I think we're all a little crazy, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and some of us do battle it with alcohol, which I don't, you know, obviously could lead down a different road, but some of us just want to be by ourselves. Some of us work out. Some of us go through it. But it's like, man, to feel that you have
No purpose.
not one
like there's
no
something- yeah.
purpose, not one person in the world that you can go to other than just like, I think I need to die.
Yeah.
Just-
Like that should be the
Forever.
yeah.
It just breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is just a reflection on, you know, the medical system in general.
Yeah.
And how they're so quick to,
To
just,
all
here's a
right,
pill
here
for
you go,
this.
off with your head. Like,
Yeah,
no.
you know, start taking this every day.
Yeah.
Instead of, you know, trying to actually fix
Help.
the problem, they just put a band-aid over it.
Yeah, I mean, I would love
And
to
that-
look more into that story. Like, she has no family, she has no friends, she has no. I mean, in that case, like, God, go to a church, get a support group. And
Yeah.
that, you know, and there's somebody out there that could. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's something
It's
we have
just
to look
crazy.
into. I didn't know Canada was doing stuff like that. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty insane to me.
Yep.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're thinking like it's a firing squad. You're gonna come. It's like it's the same thing as the death penalty almost.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like under the right conditions, like it could be.
No,
like
especially
a-
if you have like a disease that you're suffering from, and
Right.
you've made peace with your family. You're like, hey, look, I don't want to go another 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like this
Suffering.
isn't a mental
This is a-
illness.
this is-
This
she's
is like
anorexic.
Yeah.
Right, obviously
Yeah.
that is a disease inside itself, and she's obviously tried to get help, but maybe it's just not the right kind. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's always hard. It's always hard to speak on things that I've
But
never.
we have no. We
Yeah.
just don't
Right. I
understand.
I just
We
don't
can't
understand.
comprehend.
Yeah,
We've never been in that state of like.
someone out there has anorexia before, and they're probably
Yeah.
listening to this. Like, you guys have no idea which the
Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
don't.
Right.
It's just a battle
But
we don't
I-
understand, and it's a demon that like they just can't
Fight.
fight. Yeah.
And, you know, don't give up on trying to find a support
Yeah.
system. You know, like there are people out there who do care for you, who do, you know, love you, and it might not be the people around you immediately, but there are people out there.
Yeah, the
you know,
people that you can reach out to and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
You know, you were created. You know, it's my firm belief that everyone was created for a genuine purpose here on Earth.
I agree.
And that, you know, it isn't always going to be easy finding that purpose, but you know, everything that you go through on that journey is what makes it all the more, you know, worth it.
Worth
but
it in the end.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be easy, and it's never going to be on your own time, like your timetable that you set for yourself. Yeah. Sometimes things happen sooner. Sometimes things happen later. I think when it comes to anorexia, it's a
Or just
lot-
any mental
Yeah,
disease
but
or illness.
specifically like anorexia and bulimia. I feel like a lot of that is tied into like what you think you should look like because society tells you
Yeah.
to, right? Because why else would you feel be
Right.
afraid to put on a little bit of weight?
Right.
Like that's kind of normal. Like all of our
Yeah.
bodies go through ebbs
fluctuation,
and
yeah.
flows
Yeah.
of weight, you know, and
yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with, and especially now, that's one thing I do happen to admire. I know I've kind of been like, oh my god, just, you know, the whole accept yourself the way it is kind of thing, but I'm talking about like the morbidly obese people that you have to try. And again, remember, we come from the fitness industry. You have to try to put on that weight, right? You have to eat like 2,500 calories over what your metabolism is to get there. It's not it's not easy to put on weight, believe it or not. Like, you have to be really inactive. You have to be eating way over your caloric surplus. Like, there's a lot of things you have to do.
It's a compounded effect.
It's
over
a compound
time.
effect,
Yeah.
which could, because you know, mental things that you have
Right.
going on. But at the same time, I feel like nowadays I see girls that are like literally just out there with like cellulite and stretch marks, and it's not a big deal anymore. I don't think it's a big deal at all. I never did. But before, the standard of beauty was like, you know, your thighs don't touch. I remember even when I was younger, I was like, oh, she got a thigh gap, or no cellulite. And I remember even in my early training days, there'd be like women like, how do I get rid of cellulite? And you're like, that cellulite's just, that's there. Like, you could see some girls that aren't overweight that have cellulite. But now I feel like with the whole, if there's anything that's good that's come out of that, is that a lot more girls and women are comfortable
Accepting their
showing that.
bodies,
Yeah. I've even gone to the gym and seen girls like literally killing the gym, and it's hot, you guys. It's like 100 and something degrees, and they have, you know, whatever stretch marks or whatever it is, but they're totally comfortable. And I always admire that. I always feel like confidence, when you wear your confidence, that's like the best look.
Yeah.
You know, when you're trying to hide yourself or whatever, that it always, you see it, you can see right through it. So God, everybody's body is built a different way. That's what's the beautiful thing about this.
But what's great, she's 47, right? So who knows how long she's
That's
been
a long
that.
time.
Yeah,
It says, if you read the story, it says she's been battling it. She's went through like tons and tons and tons and tons of therapy sessions and stuff. I think it was like hundreds or something. And
so she's probably been fighting this for over a decade.
has, yeah. But still, I still don't think that
No,
that
100%,
is the way out. Like, it's just unfortunate. I guess it's something that we can't speak on because we've never been there. But it's really sad.
All right, let's go on to the big one that affects
Big one?
some people we know. The actors strike, the writers strike.
The writers' strike.
Yeah, look into, because I don't know enough about it. I know it has to do with AI, and it has to do with them getting residuals.
Oh yeah, that was trippy when you said what the whole face scan.
I think what happened with the actors is the actors are just backing up the writers, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything that like directly affected them, or
So a lot of it has to do with
Oh,
yeah, it's a lighter.
I am a child. Sorry.
dropped the water bottle a few episodes ago. Dropped.
My favorite is when you do this with the nails, because
Reverberates
to you it doesn't like, it sounds like nothing, but on here it's like,
Oh, because you have those things
yeah,
on.
so I'm like, cameras.
My hyperactiveness. I could not. I had to touch it. I just had to. It was calling me this whole time I've been sitting here. I swear.
So is it something about like getting the residuals after something,
I think they're just not paid enough.
right?
You know, and granted, it's, you know, the writers that make the movie.
The movie.
You know,
Yeah,
that's I mean,
absolutely.
granted, movies haven't been that great
But
over the
there,
past.
without
but
the
they're
writer, there would be no movie.
They're still putting
Yes.
movies out,
Yeah.
right? And I know one huge example was Disney, right? And how much and then it gets into like how much money the CEO of the company makes versus how much his lowest paid employee makes, and so they're getting into like wage gaps and all that. But a big part of it is writers are not properly compensated for the amount of time and effort that they put into crafting the stories that they then turn over, and studios just take and make millions of dollars off of.
Because they're selling the story for a flat fee, pretty much.
Yeah.
Unless they have
make
like a
money
great
after
deal.
money.
Yeah.
I mean,
And because who knows if the movie's gonna be a flop? Who knows if it's
Yeah.
gonna? Yeah.
I think the best thing I heard on that was like, think of it like a sitcom, that when it gets syndicated, like Seinfeld's still on TV, Friends
Yeah.
is still on TV. So those writers for that, or I think it's the writers, or I think the actors do get paid, but I think the writers aren't getting paid off of being
They're not getting
syndicated.
any, like,
I think it's a very small percentage. And again,
Like how Netflix has
So they
Seinfeld now,
don't
like
get
the
any
actors aren't
royalties
getting-
from it.
Yeah, royalties. Like I very loosely heard something where the guy was like, dude, I get like 5 cents every month off of something that like happened on Seinfeld because the contract that he signed. So
Yeah.
like they do get it, but it's so small. And now that the speed of AI is moving so fast, they're having writers, what they used to do, like you signed on to Seinfeld, so you'd be there, so you get benefits, you get locked in for like a couple years. That was like your dream job. Now what they do is they group writers together and they have them write kind of like scripts for like a couple months, and then they say, okay, that's it. Then they take that and they put it into AI to kind of refine it a little bit. So like we're not going to pay you for everything. We're just going to pay you for that couple months. So they're
We're paying
cutting
you for your idea.
Yeah, so they're cutting writers out of that.
To some degree, I don't see anything wrong with taking your work, putting it into AI, and then having it, because human error is, you can't get rid of that. So if you can have something that takes story structure and says, actually, this might, be better here. This might be better here. This might be better here, unless it's like creatively written a certain way. I don't personally see anything wrong with having AI as almost like a backstop to, run your work through. I feel like that.
Yeah, but I think what they're doing is taking. Let's just say I come up with an idea for like,
right,
and then it's literally my idea, and AI maybe tweaked a couple things or wrote a longer script. Now they've created
their idea,
and they're like, oh, that's my movie. I thought of, like, we already paid.
That's true.
But you paid me for 3 months, and you guys are. This is going to movies. It's going to Netflix. It's getting syndicated. Like, I should get money from, which I do think should be something they should get, especially if it's your idea.
No, 100%.
But it's I don't know the specifics on it.
I agree with it without the human greed part of it, where it's, we're going to take your idea, make it 10 times better, and then turn it into a movie that makes us millions of dollars.
Yeah, and
If it was something,
I think the whole point of it is that they don't have to pay the actors for or the writers for a certain amount of time. They don't have to give them benefits. They don't have to do anything. And again, I was loosely listening to something, and they were saying you would get like a contract with like a sitcom, and you would be like locked in for like a year and a half, and you'd be writing, and you'd get benefits, all that stuff. You had a means, a pretty good,
and now
pretty good living. Now it's like they pay you for 3 months, no benefits, and then you're done. And that idea that you gave them,
they make millions off.
They could have made millions off of. Yeah.
So I'm reading here because this article goes into like how politics have also played a certain role in writing now, and how there's not a lot of room for creativity. The conditions for writing, which have become restrictive and encourage mindless content creation, has to do with the changing formats, such as streaming services and whatnot. But more of it has to do with blockheaded producers who hope to exploit the current media landscape and cheap out on their writers.
Wow.
So surely just exploiting what's popular now. I mean, we've seen it with Disney, right?
Yeah.
They ruined Star Wars, they ruined Indiana Jones, they ruined all these huge IPs because they bring in a writing team that's changing a story that already exists to be more popular and get rid of all the, I guess, normal tropes that were around back when the original movies were made.
Yeah. I remember when a Marvel movie came out, it was like, I cannot wait. Like, we've been waiting for 2 years. They teased us. Like, this is going to be it. Now it's like, oh, there's a spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off. You go on Disney Plus and you watch it, and it's like, I don't even care. Like, back in the day.
Yeah, now it's just like.
Like, back in the day, I would have ran to see Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. But now it's like, wait, there's just so much
There's a Christmas special on Disney Plus, which ties into
what ties into when it used to be like, oh man, they're coming out with the Star Wars, they're coming out with the Marvel. So I mean, I definitely get that. But even you see now, like even Disney, they said that they're pulling back on how much of that content they're creating now. They're gonna like space it out a little bit better. There's not gonna be so many spin-offs. From what I did read about it though, as far as like the strike, I feel like they are due for their money. They should be. It reminds me of like stealing a joke.
Yeah.
Because I listened to Joe Rogan a lot, and he said like back in the day there used to be writers that go to comedy shows that work for Saturday Night Live, and they used to steal bits, people's jokes, and put it on Saturday Night Live, and you're like, dude, that was my joke I did at the Ice House and wherever. But
they would go to small comedy
shows where you didn't have a voice, and that's kind of how Joe Rogan, I feel like, got really popular, is when he called out Carlos Mencia.
Yeah.
He called him out on stage, and they were going to fight, but Carlos Mencia would have got his ass kicked. But it was one of the things where Carlos Mencia was so big that he can steal your jokes, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to like what the Kardashians have done with some like her Kylie Cosmetics, those lips with the she stole that. Yeah. She stole that from a girl. That was her original idea. A girl had a makeup thing, but they're like,
you can't do anything with it. Yeah.
They're going to take you to court forever. And the girl had proof. There was everything, but there's nothing you can do. So I feel like the directors and stuff like that, or what the companies are like bullying the little people, quote unquote.
They're just trying to put out as much content in a short amount of window as possible with this message,
and it shows. I mean, if you like
look at anything on Disney Plus,
dude, if it, not only that, but like Netflix, I'm so tired of them. Like, it's like a a murder mystery, right? But they'll tell a whole because they need to have so many episodes. They'll tell a whole backstory on something that doesn't even apply, and then it gets to the end, it's still unsolved. I'm like, you mother, if you're gonna give me a murder mystery, I don't even know what the hell happened at the end,
Right?
Like, don't even like leave me with this. But I think it goes back to like our crazy craving to be entertained.
Yeah.
Right, all of us on our cell phones. If you look how much you're just scrolling, refreshing, Netflix, what's the new series? Like that's always like something on Threads, like, hey, what's the new series everyone's watching?
Yeah.
There's like a huge appetite that America or just the world has to be entertained. So to keep up with it and to have the cost down, I guess companies are thinking, okay, we'll get your idea, then we'll run it through AI because AI is free.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a hopefully I think this is a big one for them, because I think if they don't win this one, it all goes downhill from there. I don't think there's anywhere else for them to go. I think once you start pumping that machine out and AI gets the green light, man, there's nowhere else for it to go. So I think this is a big one for them.
No,
They have to
100%.
really stand their ground. But I do like that actors are on board. Like there's some big actors. Kristen Wiig was out there protesting with them, and you know they
the Deadpool cast.
Yes.
The director said that he came out in support of it and said like the movie's not going to continue or not going to be released until oh, actually, no, it was The Boys director.
The Boys
director said that, not Deadpool. But I know Deadpool cast was on board with that. But the Deadpool director said because season 4 was supposed to come out this year.
Wow.
And he said season 4 is not going to come out until
this gets
the writer's strike gets figured out, and Hollywood starts paying the people that are behind it.
Yeah, it's a cause and effect thing, because you see a lot. You've seen the UPS drivers protesting for higher pay. They're protesting for higher pay. My dad comes from a era of working for the grocery stores, so he's union. So I remember a couple times that he was on strike, and there's no way he was out of work for 2 or 3 weeks, almost a month sometimes, just to kind of get the wages they want. And hopefully I feel like companies know, like there's enough. Like I think UPS made billions of dollars during COVID.
Oh yeah,
billions of dollars, right? And then the driver's pay never got increased.
Yeah,
and it's like that's crazy. That's crazy to me. But it's their business. Meaning, like UPS, they got into it. Why shouldn't they enjoy the spoils of their success?
I get that. I don't know. There's always a part of me that wants to side with the business owner, because it's like I get it.
We can see. I can see both sides.
I can see both sides.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if inflation's going up, cost of living is going up, you're raising your own prices, but you're not raising how much you pay your employees.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like a huge pay increase to where they're getting paid as much as doctors or anything like that, but just something to keep up with the cost of living. I don't think that's crazy ask for any employee to be paid.
But if you play the devil's advocate, it's a position that you don't need a certain education for. You don't need a certain training for. You go, you deliver packages. So I do see that. But I don't think. I think if you try to, as an employer, if you try to keep up with the rate of inflation, meaning you're going to go out of business. Like, what's the point of me having this brick and mortar thing if I'm only making this much after overhead and after paying everybody? Like, so ultimately what's going to end up happening if you're a mom and pop shop and you have employees and you're paying them this and you got to keep up with it, you won't have a business.
Yeah. I feel like mom and pop is different from like
true,
a corporation like Disney or FedEx.
Yeah.
Those are two different ballgames.
Yeah, true.
Like if me personally,
but it affects everybody.
Yes,
it affects everyone.
Yeah.
Like the minimum wage here, right? It goes up, and if you're thinking of a mom that just opened a cupcake shop, and she has to pay a kid
She's gotta pay minimum wage.
She got to pay let's just say minimum wage is $25, and plus you have to pay insurance after this many time. Like that's a lot of money. That's the reason why, like with us, we don't have employees. It's everyone's a private contractor type thing. So I feel for it all the way around. But I think it's just one of those things. If you go back to conspiracy, they're trying to like just get rid of all businesses, like meaning small mom and pop businesses, because the cost of living it's not going to go down in California. It is what it is. It's only going to go up. The prices, there's going to be no market crash. It's just not going to happen. There's not enough supply. So if you want a house, if you want anything, like you got to get it now. But I understand where some people are like, dude, there's no way I could afford like $6,000 mortgage, on top of that with a 7% interest rate or whatever it is, So I think it all ties back into fighting the good fight for the average Joe and not the corporate person. So I'm with UPS and I'm with the actors and the writers, and hopefully that works out for them, because if this doesn't, then man,
I know
it's
who also should be on strike too, the visual effects artists.
I think everyone isn't all of
Is it-
Hollywood?
I didn't read anything about the VFX people, but my
I feel like
God.
that affects them the most, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
affects them the most. 'Cause, I
absolutely.
mean, the shit that, huge studios that rely on CGI, like Marvel, like, oh,
yeah.
my God, the conditions that those visual artists are put through to push movies out by a certain date, and on some reports aren't getting paid, like, for all the, hours and hours extra that they're pouring into these projects. That right there, just as someone who's on the editing side of things,
Oh, for sure.
fuck no.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, I know they've been saying this since I was younger, that machines are going to take over everything, but now it's
like happening.
really
That's
starting
crazy.
like, especially the first time I saw on Instagram a big truck driving itself to drop off deliveries, right? Or then there's like fully functional McDonald's with like one cook working. You talked about it in the last podcast. There's like little robots that will deliver food to you.
In hotels, yeah.
Anytime you have an issue with customer service, it's AI you're talking to
Yep.
before they
for the robot,
for the
the
robot,
chat.
before they take you to somewhere. So I would say, God, what, another 10, 15 years, a lot of normal, I guess, jobs. I mean, could an AI replace a UPS driver? I have no idea. I know their jobs aren't easy, so I just don't know if that's even possible. So
There's certain jobs that AI definitely can't
100%.
replace. Like certain,
There's gonna be a
you
lot
need
of jobs.
human,
Yeah.
yeah.
But actually, just back to the Writers Guild thing. So visual effects artists aren't protected by a union, and because of the strike going on right now, they're being laid off because there's no work.
That's
So because of the writer's strike, now other aspects of the industry that had nothing to do with
suffering.
it are suffering.
Ooh, that's tough.
and then what's going to happen is there's no more new movies, and then the writers are going to have
that's
to
all- right. Deadpool 3 was just put into production. Like, come on,
Don't fuck this up for us, guys.
Hugh Jackman is returning as Wolverine
in the old school Wolverine.
in the old school Wolverine. Come on, like.
I can see Ethan. Hey, everything's been negotiated. Ethan's like, you guys, Deadpool 3 is coming out, the old school Wolverine. They're like carrying him on his shoulders. No, I mean, that's why I like having these. I feel like there's so much stuff that goes on, and whether you agree with us or you don't agree with us, I know we talk about it for like hours just amongst ourselves. And every once in a while, I'll post a story, and then everyone starts DMing me instead of like replying on the post. So I'm like, I know there's a space for it, and like we always talked about, I always wanted this podcast to be not just interview based or just talking about certain things. I want it to be open to everything, and that's why I love sometimes when we just kind of go on our own little rants and our opinions. And again, our opinions
Are just our opinions.
Half the time, half the shit I say about conspiracy, it's jokes. So don't come at me.
Allegedly, okay? Just don't take
trying to get Epstein
everything
down
we
here,
say
okay?
seriously.
Don't take everything I say seriously. I don't want DMs, screenshots of what I said. Please.
Yeah, no, I'm cool. I mean, I always there's a lot of people that don't agree with me on certain things, especially at the in and out thing. They're like, you don't think they should, or you think they should be told not to wear masks? I'm like, listen, I love to hear your side, and I agree with most of the stuff you say, but I've been through it. I have a different experience with it than you do because I was a business owner. So for me, it was hell. For you, it was probably like a vacation with unemployment, chilling in the air conditioning, maybe having a side business, making masks and selling them online, and you were chilling. But for me, it was a total. So it's just funny for me to see the tables turn, and now people are like, oh, you can't, it's against their policy to wear a mask. I'm like, this is fucking so backwards, but
definitely.
I'm here for it. So we do, again, like we said, guys, we have a couple guests lined up for this month. We do have different array of people. I don't want to have the same type of people. We don't want it to be all fitness, so we have a bunch of different people coming on. I think Hugh Jackman's going to be here.
Definitely. Yeah, we just booked him.
He has nothing else to do, right?
No, I mean,
Hey, this is the time we start going after actors.
Yeah, they stopped production. So
This is the time.
This is the time.
Actually,
Yep.
you're not you see us out there with the mic.
Yeah, hey, this is the
Hey,
time.
so we're going to
Yeah.
the streets next time.
Hey,
so any actors in need of work right now, or
For a non-paid
Come
gig.
find-
No, hey, we can always pay whoever comes in with a nice case of Rainstorm. Delicious grape flavor, you guys.
There you go.
There you go.
Delicious, great flavor.
Until next time, if you're an actor, reach out to us, especially if you're on a big time movie. We love you guys. Bye.